Welcome to the treasure room.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Prepare for vault door opening.
Hello and welcome, everybody. You have no idea how difficult it is to do this stuff sometimes, everybody. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We are, of course, here raising funds for Fallout for Hope St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital for 24 days in a row. Sometimes, everybody, I just absolutely go above and beyond, but it's just a struggle. I spent the last 5 hours trying to get this to work, and finally, it looks like everything is working. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see and hear me. Let me make myself a little bit bigger here. Way up here. There we go. There we go. Always something here. Now, one of my things I do every single year, everybody, is I raise funds for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And you can actually be part of that. You can be a St. Jude's hero. You can make a difference in a little child's life tonight, everybody, simply by following that link that's right down there in the chat down below. As well as, I didn't get the other one here in the thing. Hold on a second. I gotta get my St. Jude one going right here. I think it's already in here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, 1 second as I go ahead and get that working as well. Always something. Right here. There we go. There we go. All right. So many things to do at the same time. All right, there we go. I'm always doing so much, everybody. Always doing so much. St. Jude right there. All right, there we go. There it is right there. Now you can also, if you do donate, everybody, you can also check out the tax information about that by checking that info out right there. But you can follow that link and you can actually donate. Now, of course, if you do donate at different levels, you can check it out while you're in there. In fact, let me go ahead and see if I can get it up over here as well. On my other display. Let's go ahead and pull you guys in over there as well. And then right up here, you're going to get a window just like this. Now, depending on what level you do donate, you can unlock all of this stuff as well. I don't know why it says reward no longer available. Huh. Well, that's another thing I got to solve. I probably have to sign in. I have to sign in up in the upper left corner there, I think. But you can donate to the stream, and based on your donation level is the rewards you can unlock, as well as unlock giveaways here in the stream. Big love to all the peeps over here at Bethesda Gear as well. Let me pull that up as well, right over here somewhere. Boop, right there. There we go. And again, we're going to be doing the Kismet Love Train of Hope this year, everybody. Again, December 1st today through the 24th. Now, today is actually going to be a little bit of a different stream. We're going to be going in and talking a bit about graphic design as well. So we're going to have some fun with that. Also, I have tons, again, giveaways from the awesome people at Bethesda Gear, Strange Loop Games, who make Eco. They got Eco 10 coming out, as well as the awesome people over there as Bethesda, as well as a bunch of random giveaways and bonus giveaways as well, going all month long. So definitely be hanging out in the stream. You can also unlock me doing cosplay. You can get your name in game. You can name some of the outposts and whatnot that I'm going to be, or settlements that I'm going to be doing in Fallout 4. And of course, multiple benefits across there. And of course, if you do donate, you actually get all the benefits down below as well. So say you donate $5 where you get some love from the chat. You get a thank you on behalf of St. Jude's from me. If you donate $20, you get your name on a robot. You get your name on the wall of heroes, as well as love from the chat and a thank you from St. Jude's for me. So again, they all cascade up, and you can check that out just by following that link. Look at all the various rewards. Now, we also have a bunch of milestones that we're going to do. We set a very big goal again this year of trying to raise around $5,000 for St. Jude. And as we make our way through those different milestones, I'm going to be giving away tons of game codes, $25 gift cards. I have a ton of those, not only, by the way, for the U.S. gift cards, but also international gift cards to give out as well. And just a ton of other stuff I couldn't even fit on this thing. just so much stuff that we're going to be giving away right over here. Now, of course, I appreciate everybody who does hang out in the stream. Appreciate you all big time. So again, if you want to see more of this, everybody, you can check that out on my Twitter and all of that. I've got it pinned to the very top over there. There we go. And again, everybody, we're here for one cause, and that is to raise funds for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. I hope you all are having a great start to your December and lead into the holidays. I've been struggling all day just to try to get my stream to work, but it seems like it's working now. It seems like we're good. So again, we're going to get into some graphic design tonight because this is Graphic Design 2, everybody, where we talk a bit about how to make overlays, how to do graphics in programs like Illustrator, Photoshop, as well as you can use free programs to do that as well. But we're going to just get into the basics, kind of do a little bit of recap what we did last time, and then lead into some new information. So if you are a streamer or if you like to do graphics, logos, that kind of stuff, I'm going to be talking about that for just a few hours. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow on Saturday playing 7 Days to Die with my crew at 10 p.m. And then on a Sunday and Monday, we're playing Fallout 4 and so on throughout the whole rest of the week. And I'll be streaming as much as I possibly can starting tomorrow to, of course, raise funds for St. Jude Children's Hospital for 24 days in a row, as I do every single year. Let's hope it all works out well. Let's see how it goes, everybody. Now, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We'll dive right in. in here and get into it. We got Wits coming in. What up, Wits? Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate that. Don't forget to go retweet everybody. Show some love over there on the Twitter. And of course, if we get 5 retweets over there, everybody, for the stream and for St. Jude's, what I'm going to do is give you 5,000 caps, everybody. Kids caps, and my kids caps are used, they're loyalty points, which are used for the giveaways, right? So you want to get as many of those as you possibly can, so you can be part as many giveaways as you possibly can as well. Now remember, if you are the #1 caps leader on December 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that means that you are going to get an automatic win, by the way, an automatic win from me. As the caps leader, the one who been hanging out in the stream the most and built up those kids caps through interacting in the stream and showing so much love. And remember, it does reset at 12 midnight on January 1st, so everybody has a chance to be the caps leader next year in 2024. Can you believe we're almost at the end of the year, everybody? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just absolutely incredible? I think that's pretty amazing myself. For sure. And again, we got some big goals to get going. We're gonna see how it goes this year as well. So LOC also in the game. What up, LOC? We got Paul coming in. We got Jaden coming in as well. There we go. Merry Fixmas Kismet. How you doing tonight? Oh, I hope they bring that Fixmas back in Satisfactory. I love that event. It's pretty great. Wiz bringing in the Kismet Love Trade. Whoop! Yes, AMZ. I finally managed to get to work. I've been working on it for 5 hours. 5 hours, and I managed to get it all to work. It just kept crashing and wouldn't load. I couldn't copy. I kept getting the Mac spinning beach ball of death all the time. I mean, I have to... Man, I'm like the hurdle jumper every single day, everybody. Would jump the hurdles. Technical problem. That's my every day. What up, Raz? Thanks for coming in, hanging out. That's Mr. Non, you coming in with the Kismet Love Tray, going into lurker mode. Yes, it's me, Kiz Kringle. I did not get a chance to do the emotes. That's the other thing I was trying to get done today. I was dealing with too many technical problems. But we'll try to get those emotes in tomorrow, everybody. And I'll send you a message, of course, when they go live. We'll get those going tomorrow. I definitely ran out of time today. Or maybe I'll do them after the stream. Here. Because we're just going to go for a few hours, talk a little bit about graphic design. And get into it. Paul coming in saying thank you in the chat. Appreciate all that love. Rotisserie G coming in as well. What up, Blue Kronos? Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Bommel in the chat. Foggy in the chat. Yes, the cute little sparkle dog. Man, wait till you see the new emotes, everybody. They look so incredibly fantastic. We'll get into all of that later on. But right now, let's go ahead and get into some graphic design. Let's go. All right, welcome everybody. Now you can see up here at the top, we've got a bar right up there. That is our donation bar. Again, we got a huge goal, everybody, especially for my little stream. Last year, did you know that we raised over $7,500? I looked it up, or about $7,500 for St. Jude's. Amazing. You know, I just try stuff in here in the stream, everybody. It's astonishing how incredibly awesome peeps are in the stream. So remember that if you do donate... certain levels, it will unlock that. And again, I should probably go back to that just to show you. Now, I don't know why it says it for me. Rewards no longer available, but it should show for you guys. I suggest to sign in to Tiltify. Remember, this goes directly to them. Has nothing to do with me. You can also use the barcode over here and just scan it with your phone and be able to donate that way. But again, if you donate $1, you're going to get some love from St. Jude's, from me. And then, of course, you get love from the chat for a $5 donation. If you donate $20, you get your name on a robot, name on the wall of heroes, love from the chat. Again, you get all of the rewards down below. And, of course, you can make the difference in a child's life, everybody. The St. Jude's helps children with cancer. And so hopefully they can get the chemotherapy treatment they need and all the treatments that they need so they can go back to being a child this holiday season. That would be amazing. They don't have to spend their childhood in the hospital. They can go back and just go back to being a kid. And that's why I love St. Jude's, because I, of course, have 3 daughters myself, and I know what it's like to worry about your children, especially when they have such a rough time of it when they're young. So feel free to go in there and show some love. And again, we got the milestones. I wasn't able to get the milestones in the chat down below, but I will get it going. Again, you can just go right here to this right here, everybody. You can just click that right down below the stream as well on Twitch. I'll also go ahead and throw that love over here on my other channels, because I am streaming live to 4 different platforms right now, to Twitch, of course, to YouTube, to Kick, and also to Facebook. So we're going to throw that over there for all the peeps to be able to join in and show some love. Remember that your St. Jude's donation is tax deductible, but you definitely need to check with your local rules for your particular state or country. Make sure to check with that to make sure that it is, and you can actually check it out on their website as well to get more information on that for sure. And, oh, wait, I need to do something over here. Always some buttons and switches I need to get going. Oh, it's not going to work over there. Got to do it over here. I have a very complex stream, everybody, as you can see. As you can see, I'm always in the middle of doing like 50 things. That's why if you buzz me, everybody, a lot of times I'll be doing 100 things, and it's difficult for me to respond to everybody, but I try. That is for sure. So again, thanks for coming in, hanging out, everybody. For sure. Oh, I should pin it to the top of chat. Oh, I don't think I've ever even bothered to do that in thing. Oh yeah, look at that. We can pin it to the top of chat. Yeah. I forgot that was even a thing. Let's see. St. Jude pin message. Manually unpinned or end of stream. Well, thank you very much for that. Man, I have not even looked at that feature in a long time. Is that a new feature, or did that just, is that a new thing or what? Let's see. Does that take us to the right thing? It absolutely does. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for that love. That's 1,000 Kids Cats for the chat, for helping me, backing me up. Oh, we got those 5 retweets. Let's go, baby. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 caps. And you're like, Kismet, when you going to do the giveaway? I'm going to start the giveaway right now, everybody. Right now. We're going to give away a random game code as well. Let's get that started right now. Oh, I got to start that over here. I got so many things going. Let's get that started over here. Let's do some giveaways. Let's see. Let's just copy this one. Random game code over here. Steam game code, very important. Random Steam game code right over here. And boom. All right, this is a good warm-up for everybody. If you have not done giveaways before in my stream, here's what you do. You first go exclamation loot in the chat to see how many Kids Caps you have. Now, once you figure out how many Kids Caps you have, you can actually put in for the giveaway. So you can just go exclamation ticket space max to put in the most tickets you possibly can. Now, remember, it's 10 Kids Caps per 1 ticket in the giveaway, and you get 1 for free. So that means everyone, every single person in this room, whether you've been here for 10 seconds or you've been here for almost 9 to 10 years now, you have a chance to win. I've actually seen people come in and they put 1 ticket in, and they won $200 worth of games. I know, pretty cool, right? And of course, other loot as well that I do give out here on the stream. And I'll be giving away loot every single day for the next 24 days, and sometimes multiple giveaways each and every day, depending on how we do and what we unlocked along our path to try to raise funds for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So there you go. So again, you can also help out the stream. Oh, we got the hype trade already started up. We got Blue Chronos and we got Down Incognito. Thank you, Down Incognito. It says, hey, Kismet, happy Friday with 17 months of sub love. Now, remember, the only alerts that are going to pop up are my St. Jude alerts. The Kismet Love Train is not going to roll in for right now, but I will call you out. Blue Chronos coming up says, happy Fallout for Hope, Kismet, and Merry Christmas season. Yes, to you as well, Blue Chronos, for 15 months of sub love as well. Show them lots of love in the chat, everybody. Use those custom emotes as well. Why is this thing go away pin thing? What the heck? I can't get the pin thing to go away. It's out of control. Hide for yourself. There we go. All right, there we go. Got it out of there. Wit's coming in. Now, again, we got a hype train going, everybody. We got 3 minutes and 56 seconds. Now is a great time to show some love to St. Jude's, or show some love to the peeps in the chat. You can do some gifted subs. Remember, those gifted subs go a long way. Of course, people are going to be earning 3 times the Kiz Caps and 3 times chance to win if you are a subscriber. You can find out more about all of that stuff right down here as well, down below the stream on Twitch. You can see all the different tiers, all the stuff here as well. And then, of course, 3 times the Kiz Cap, 3 times the chance to win. As a subscriber. You can also find out other ways of helping support the stream. But most importantly, click this button right here and become a St. Jude hero and show some love to St. Jude's. And here's what I'm going to do, everybody. The very first donation that we get tonight, I'm going to shower the chat with 10,000 Kiz Caps. That's what I'm going to do. So who's going to be our first St. Jude heroes tonight? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Always an exciting time, everybody, to see who's first. That is for sure. All right, so let's get into some graphic design basics. Now, this is a little bit of a different stream, everybody. Normally, I do play games like Fallout, 7 Days to Die. We've been playing Starfield. Of course, we've played a bunch of other games in the past, like Ark and other games. I'm trying to think of Astroneer. What else? Man, just a whole bunch of Satisfactory, I think I already said. And a giant list of other ones, everybody. Normally, you can actually see it on my startup screen. You can see all this, the stuff scrolling by. But this is a bonus stream. This is a stream beyond my normal streams in which I impart 30 years worth of graphic design knowledge to you. Now, you're saying, Kismet, what's this all about? Now, these are shapes, everybody. When it comes to graphic design, there's a bunch of different things you need to know. The basics, right? So one of the things is all about shapes, understanding shapes and using shapes together. Another thing is also the proximity of those shapes. If we take this shape, we move it apart. At what point does it feel like too close? Probably about right there, right? Maybe this feels less close, right? So you get that feeling of being too close, and then, oh, wait, it's overlapping, right? And sometimes you want it overlapping, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you might want to merge these two together with an amazingly great feature called the Pathfinder right here. Bam! Now they're converted together. Now it's 2 different shapes put together, right? You can also go in and actually cut the corner of this out by minusing the shape, which is probably the thing I do the most. And see, now you've got a nice rounded edge. Now, you can also use this in 3D. You can make shapes in Illustrator and then export those 2D shapes and turn them into 3D shapes. You can actually make 3D shapes in Illustrator as well. And, of course, you can also use some free programs like GIMP and your photo mode on your PC, which comes for free. GIMP is free. You can download that, basically like a Photoshop type program like this. And you can see I've got my schedule on there and whatnot. So we're going to talk a bit about the basics, that proximity, the difference of white spacing and stuff like that. Just a little bit of a recap of what we talked about last time. And, of course, typography, where you go in, of course, and then you just put in some text like this. And then, of course, utilize the different styles, right? So you have different, what's known as display fonts. Display fonts are ones that are very uniquely different. See how the H has an angle here. You've got a nice little rounded square here and an angled T. A lot of really cool fonts out there. Now, these type of fonts are mainly for headlines. And then, of course, you would have something that is more what's known as serif. This is a sans serif font. It doesn't have the little things at the end. A serif font would be like Courier or something like that. Oh, that's not a serif font. That's Courier New, which is actually sans serif. So let's see if we can find one that's a serif font in here. I don't even know if I have any serif fonts on this PC. Let's go see. There's one right there. All right, yes. Mongolian Bati. And these, there's a lot of fonts available through Google. There's also the Adobe library of fonts. and whatnot. And what makes a serif font is these little things right here. This little thing that goes off the end. Now, serif fonts, and you can see it down here at the bottom with these little things, those serifs make fonts easier to read, right? So if you're going to read a newspaper or you're going to read something online, it's actually easier for you to read and less eye strain for you to read a serif font than a sans serif font. For a headline, it's great, but you don't want to make an entire paragraph or an entire ad full of just sans serif fonts, or basically squared off fonts, right? Fonts that don't have those little things at the bottom. Let's see if I can find another example in here. Now, normally Courier is a serif font. Yeah, there we go. We can see a little bit of the serif there in the F, and then over here, and then over here. But that's Courier New, which is a different take on that. And there's a lot of basic fonts. Let's see. Times New Roman isn't a great example of a serif font right here. See the serifs on the edge? Now, there's also some other things to know about fonts, and this actually, it gets a little bit deeper into fonts. So say you wanted to do a special effect just to the last part here. I can go in and I can do something like this. You see what's happening? Actually, I can do a little bit faster just to give you an idea. What I'm doing is I'm adjusting the space in between, right? And that's this right here. That's called tracking. And it's going to track those out further or bring them in closer. Now, most fonts already have the kind of optimum tracking between the different letters. But there are some fonts, that custom fonts you might find on the internet or whatnot. And then say the H is just a little too far away from the O. And you want to go in and I'll just simulate it by putting a space in there. And then you want to bring that closer. And what you can do is you can just kind of bring that down. Now, see what's happening here? See how these two are getting closer? So what you want to do is actually work in between by selecting this. And then you can make this a little bit further out. Just this here. There we go. Make this further out. There we go. Like that to create a bit of an offset. Oh, if it lets me click it. There we go. Or we'll do like 200. And then you just create a big offset. Now, why would you want to adjust it? Well, it's really for style. For style, you want to go in and adjust that. Another great example, I'm going to Control Z that. Another great example of something you need to know about typography, and again, we're kind of going into design level 2 now, is your ability to adjust the line distances between the two, right? So say we take this and we put this over here, and we want to adjust the line difference here. It would be right here, this top one here is called leading. And you can actually, by default, there's an auto function over there where you can set it. Mostly the auto function is okay. Most of the time you just want to reset it to the auto function and then adjust it. Now, if I adjust it too much, auto. Okay, that's not working. Okay. I should automatically put it pretty close. There we go. I'll just manually type it. And see, you can see I can bring it in a little closer so it feels better. Now, I find graphic design. Hey, Dr. J, what's up? Comic Sans, the most overused font. Yes, I find that it's more about how it feels, right? Should I put Fallout for Hope on the top? Should I go in and center the text, right? Is that how we want to do it? We'll move it off here to the side and zoom in on it. Should I center it? Should I put the 4 on the lower one? Should I put it in between, right? Should I put it like this? Should I have 2 spaces? Should I have 1 spaces? Maybe the 4 and the H need to be closer. They need to be further apart. Again, we can do that tracking to track those out. Now, it's really important that you're watching this part here, that this is not being affected, which it is right there. It's definitely being effective. If you don't like it, Control Z, Control Z. And you can hold down Control Z and see how I just undid everything. And then I can just Control Shift Z again and it will redo it. So really fantastic way of modifying the distances between the different lines and also between the letters. Again, those are these two that are right over here. They're called leading and they're called tracking. Probably one of the two most important things to know about fonts, right? And of course, when you're going in and you're trying to make something fit in a layout, say we go ahead and create a new layout over here, and I'm going to create one that's 1920 by 1080 because that's the size of the screen it's going to go on. I'm going to grab this text. I'm going to go ahead and put it right over here. Now, if I'm doing, say, an overlay, I can go ahead and put that down in the corner, just like this, pretty much like I am doing. Oh, where is it? Like this. Let me get that to show up here. Oh. It vanished. There it is. Like I'm doing right over there. So one of the things that I suggest you do is that you you mock it up. Now, I don't have to have the actual logo. So say I was mocking up this one I'm doing right now, I could just put the word Fall Off for Hope down there, and then eventually I put the logo there, or I can just put the logo there as well. And I can modify that and adjust it. Say I wanted to have this thing at the top here, right? Well, what I would do is just mock it up by putting a box there like that. And now look, I got an overlay already started. Okay, now where am I going to be? Well, I could just go ahead and say, you know what? I'm just going to put a rounded rectangle for where I'm going to be. I'm going to be, say, right over here. We're talking a bit about overlays and how to create overlays as well. Maybe you're going to have some alerts, right? Some alerts come up on your screen as well, and you're going to want to watch out for those alerts. Speaking of alerts, actually, I need to move my logo now that I think about it. Let me move this up here into this corner. Let's say way up here. There we go. Ooh, she's touchy. All right. All the way up there. There we go. So again, I can go in and I can modify stuff. Right up there. There we go. And this way, when an alert goes off, it will actually show up over there and won't be overlapped by that object that's way up there. So it's a good idea to think that through. So say, okay, well, my Fall Off for Hope logo is going to be up here. Let's turn this to white. And let's go ahead and bring it to the front. And then also what I can do is, say, give it an outline. And there we go. So now I've got a general idea, right, of where I'm going to have my bar, where I'm going to have it out. When you're mocking it up, you don't have to spend so much time doing details. Details is the last thing you do. Mocking stuff up is a lot easier to do with just basic shapes. So I've got me here, and say we're going to go ahead and say use an ellipse, maybe more for me, like this. And we'll say this is going to be my general area down here. Oh, a little rotation there. There we go. And then this actually we'll use for our alerts. So say we're going to have this over here, and then we'll go ahead and grab this, put that in the front, and we'll say, exactly, not that. What's it doing? There's two of them there. All right, something weird going on there. Alerts. All right, so we're going to have our alerts down here in the corner, and then up here, maybe we'll want it to have a little, little bar up here. And you're going to see this happen, everybody. Whoever donates is actually going to see this happen live for St. Jude's. And then we're going to have some smaller alerts show up right over here in the corner, like this. And these are going to be, say, little bars like this that are going to show up. I'll put a little gap in there, using the arrow keys to bring that down, and say a bunch of alerts over there, and we'll call these mini alerts. Just like that. And let's go right there. Now remember, everybody, we're here to... Oh, wait, someone donated. Why did it not show up? Oh, no. Come on. Yes, Blue Kronos came in and donated $15. That's 10,000 kiss caps. My alerts are already not working. Hold on, everybody. I swear, everybody. I swear. It's always something. Hold on, I gotta go in and figure out why it didn't work. All right, it did say it came through. I do see it, Blue Kronos. I can't replay it. Oh. What the heck? Yeah, I guess my overlay not worky so good. I might have to go into Stream Elements and get that working. Yeah, it's supposed to pop up over there on the side. Oh, look. No, there you are at the top. You're right there. Yeah, you're at the very top up there. So that's working. So that is working up there. So you are up there. Very much like I'm showing here. And again, for some reason, it didn't pop up over on the side, though. So I'll have to go see if I can get... I'll do that after the stream. Figure out why those alerts are not popping up there. Because it should actually pop up with a big old alert over there on the side. But there we go. I'm not going to troubleshoot it right now because we are streaming. But there we go, everybody. That's 10,000 cats. Let's go ahead and show us lots of love for Blue Kronos in the chat. There's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 caps. You can thank Blue Kronos for that. So if you win anything during this thing, you probably can thank him for crushing that. Thank you so much, Blue Kronos. Appreciate that big time. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Again, we're raising funds for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Now, we have already unlocked some giveaways. Now, of course, those giveaways are going to start tomorrow when we go full swing with St. Jude's. Tonight, we're just going to be doing a little bit of graphic design and whatnot. Now, if you do have issues with your alerts, like I'm having mine, what you want to do is test it. I did test it for some reason. The basic ones are not showing up. And see, I can either do it through Tiltify, which I'm testing out right now, or I can do it directly through Stream Elements. And I usually find Stream Elements to be a much better alert system than anybody else's alert system. Again, I thought I'd test their thing out again this year. The problem with their overlay is the fact that their overlay does not let you replay the alert. Which is a huge bummer. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out again. Again, remember, that was last year, everybody. I did all this. This is a giant undertaking every single year. It literally takes me 3 to 6 months before December. So I start actually in June to get everything working and getting, giveaways and sponsors and all that stuff every single year. So there you go. So yes, it should have an alert come up over there. But thank you so much again, Blue Kronos. I appreciate that love. And again, I wish there was a way to replay those alerts. And I actually told him that last year, why I can't replay those alerts. That's wild. Yeah. I mean, it's here. I can see the donation. I should be able to click it and say replay. But the good news is, since you donated, where's my, did I bring it over here? Hold on, I gotta bring it from my other layout real quick. Right here. And paste it over here. Right there. Boom. Look at that. I'm working my magic, everybody. Working my magic. Right over here. Now this is, there we go. This is the current campaign I have going right now for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Slide that over just a little bit. There we go. Again, it's going to be December 1st to the 24th. It goes directly to them through Tiltify, by the way. And of course, we have tons of giveaways as well. If you donate, What it does is you have different levels of donation over here. Where did it go? Over here. As if you go to Tiltify, so he donated $15. So on behalf of St. Jude, thank you so much, Blue Kronos. Now I want to see some love from the chat, everybody. And he also is going to get his name on the wall of heroes in Fallout 4, which I'm going to build a gigantic mega build for all of you heroes throughout the whole rest of this month, as well as do mega builds from our other thing as well. Now, some of those settlements are already taken up, but as you go down, you can actually name robots, and you can actually found other settlements that are not already taken as well, and you can actually name those settlements as well. And you can even make me dress up as the Wasteland Tycoon over there as well. And remember, this all goes to charity, everybody. All this goes to charity. It goes to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So let's keep on rocking and talk a bit more about doing overlays. So as you can see, what I'm doing is this is called a mock-up, right? Now, whether you're doing an overlay or if you're doing a graphic design layout or something like that, or maybe you're doing something where you actually have the gameplay in the background. You can see I have a bunch of different things like the cockpit here. I'll actually just open all of these. I have a bunch of different interface screens, and those various interface screens, I put a bunch of guides to block those areas. So as I'm putting stuff down or I'm trying to figure out where I want my overlay to be, I also take into account the game. You see where I'm sitting here? I'm sitting here. I'm not blocking all of this stuff over here. I actually have multiple positions I can be in. I'm actually in the middle here, or I'm off to the side here when we're doing like story mode, when we're doing story. And then I'm back over here whenever we're doing battling, so you can see all that action. Same thing in Fallout 4 and whatnot. I'll go through and take a bunch of screenshots of the game and then actually situate myself in the best spot. And then doesn't matter where you are, at some point you're going to be blocking something. So that's good to take into consideration. Again, you can just use also just a color block in there to represent you as well. And again, just try to create a bit of that mock-up like that. Like great example, if I was going to do my the overlay for my office, I would just go ahead and say use a square here, and then go in and modify that square if it lets me here. There we go. And modify that square kind of more table size like this. And so we have this, me. This is my overseer's table. And then I would use probably an ellipse for me. I'm going to be sitting there. And this is the basics of mocking stuff up, right? So say maybe I'll have a logo up here in the corner or some information, or in the case of mine, actually, I have two screens that come down on my thing, right? So two screens that come down and that end up behind me. So this should come to the front like this. And then I also have my chat that comes in over here. Now I do very advanced stuff. So I have like 3D chat that comes in. I use a program called Polypop, which does 3D animation. You can put 3D models in there and then actually put your gameplay on those 3D models. Very, very cool stuff. As well as I have a bunch of 3D animation that I did that's causing my thing to rotate behind me or whatnot. Very, very cool. So again, just talking a bit about mock-ups today, all right? A bit of graphic design in there. Now, I'm not going to go through and build out every single detail, but understanding mock-ups is very important. Very important when you're trying to come up with an idea of what you want, right? So in this case, you actually can see there's that little alert up there at the top. You can see that our thing has gone up as well. Now, remember, we're doing a giveaway right now, everybody, so you can be part of that giveaway. We're giving a random game cone giveaway, and you can thank Blue Kronos, who has unlocked more giveaways as well. Let's see. I haven't put the thing down below yet. I still got to work on that. I've been working on it for a while, but it's always a struggle right at the very end. Let's see. Yeah, and as we go through there, I'll have that down below. And that'll be something I designed as well. Say maybe you want to design like a panel like I have down below. Say one of these. I'll show you a great trick to doing panels. is you go to someone else's panel, say one of mine, and say you want to grab something, let's say like stream support over here. You can just right click on it on anything on the internet and just copy it. Now, you don't want to just copy exactly what someone else has, but what it's going to do is give you the general size of a panel and using those panels. So I can then take that, go into here, say like this, and then create a new one, and I can paste that in. Now, in Illustrator and other programs, as you can get for free, by the way, you can just go Illustrator free on the internet, and it will give you a comparable program that will do the same thing as Illustrator or as Photoshop. But what I can do is I can go in and actually change the size of what's known as the artboard, right? So those are those old kind of things that we used to use way back in the day. But now we use a digital artboard, so I can go ahead and change the size of this down. Now what this does, it tells us right here at the top of the thing, and actually let me pop it down just a little bit here so we can move it down. There we go. It's saying right here at the top the size of this. Now, Twitch, in the case of Twitch, it is going to automatically constrain it to 320 wide, right? So you can have it 320 wide and really as tall as you want it to be, but me, I go about 440 tall, roughly, and then I go ahead and design like that. Now what I can do is I can move stuff off to the side here. Maybe I'm going to do some sort of background, so I can go in, create a big box, and create, say, a green background. Then what I'm going to do is, say, put a photo in the center. Again, we're talking about mock-ups today in graphic design. And then we're going to say, okay, we're going to have some photo here, like that, and then maybe even just put it like in a gradient or something like that. That is a great way of doing that. And then we're going to have some text down below. Now, one of the greatest features, I think, of any program is the ability to lock items. Now, if I want to move this stuff, what happens is a lot of times I'm going to grab both of these at the same time. And what I want to do is just lock this. So if I just go Control-2, boom, that thing is locked and I can't pick it up. You can also use your layers to lock stuff. You can create multiple layers over here where I can say this one is the background, BKG for short. And then this is the info or whatever you want to call it. Info, there we go. And I can actually change the layers by grabbing this little square in that upper right-hand corner there, and I can pull the gradient there, or what's going to be the picture in the future, up like that. And then I can turn that layer on and off. So understanding layers is very important as well. So now we've got the background. Maybe we want to add some text, so we'll add another layer for text. So we have control over each one. And then I can lock the other two layers so to make sure that it doesn't put it on those layers. And then this right here, if you notice that it does this Latin here, this is just what's known as Greek text. And you can just go in and grab that and put a space in there. Paste that in there. Now, if you notice that it just put it all in one line and didn't put the returns in there, that's because it's just thinking you want a straight line. So it's just going to keep doing that. If you want to do an actual paragraph, then you have to click, hold, drag it out. Then when you put it in there, you can see you get the whole paragraph as well. Let me move that over a little bit so it's not blocking my head. So now you got a whole paragraph of Greek text, and that's just giving you a general idea. Maybe you want the text to be down lower, and then you want, say, some sort of headline like this. And this is how you mock up things like magazines and posters and whatnot. You just mock all this stuff up to get a general idea. And you can see we've already done a bunch of design already, right? So we've got the size of what we need. Very important to know exact size, especially like your Twitch panels are 320 wide. You can find all this information out by searching this stuff on Google. You can say Twitter image size, Facebook header sizes. And it's important to know what things are called as well. Like if you go to my stream over here, I'm live now, but if you go to my stream, there's an offline banner that's at the top, right? And there's also a banner that is shows up when I'm offline, right? And that offline banner is 1920 by 1080 is what I put it as. You can also do 720 if you want. But there's a bunch of different levels of quality, right? Now, they used to have TVs that were square, right? It used to be 640 by 480, or you'd have half that, 320 by 120, or by 240. And now, of course, they use a more 16 by 9, so it's not square anymore. It's a longer 1920 by 1080 or 720. You get the general idea. Now, how can you figure out the sizes of things? Well, Photoshop actually really great for that. If you go in and you say, well, I want this to be 720. Right now, we can tell that it is HD quality, 1080 HD. It's because it's 1920 wide by 1080 high. Now, how could I figure out the other numbers? Say, well, I know the 720, but I don't know what the other number is. I don't know what the width number is, right? And all these things you should have in your head, by the way, or write them all down so you know all the different sizes. And also, if you're going to go up to 4K or 8K, good to know all of those sizes as well. And those sizes can differ from your actual monitor size, right? So your monitor might say, oh, well, this is 4K. But really, 4K it has to do with the height. The height is actually the thing it usually uses. That's why they call it 1080. That's why they call it 720. So if we go in and we type in 720, well, oh, okay, now I know what the width of 720p is. It's 1280. See, very easy to do by linking the two and changing the height, and then it will reduce it down to 720. Now, why would you want to go to 720? Purely for space, or if you're not a partner streamer, you can't stream higher than 720 unless they change that for affiliates or non-affiliates. I can't even remember if they did or not. But as a partner streamer, I can stream 1920. I could actually stream 4K if I wanted to. 4K is very limited to the amount of people who are going to be watching me in 4K. And plus, you don't need to see me that detailed anyway. I think 1920 is probably as detailed as you guys need to see me. That's for sure. But that's a great way of figuring out sizes. And again, you want to go in and do the different sizes. Now, maybe you want to go in and get a logo, right? So we can go into Google here. And we can say, let's see. You can see all the things I searched for recently there too. Starfield update, more advanced graphic design, things like that. But one of the things that I would search for is, say, let's see. I'm trying to think of a logo that we could use. Let's say Lucid Sound logo. Boom. So there we go. Lucid Sound. What about Bethesda gear, right? Boom. Bethesda gear logo. The international logo. By the way, I'll be giving away international game codes as well. Don't think I forget about all you peeps in the EU and elsewhere. I'll be giving away US gift cards as well as international. So say I want to grab this logo right here. If you might notice, it's got these squares behind it. That's trying to tell you it's transparent. Now, on PC, it's a little different than it is on Mac. If I just copy this image and then I just go to Illustrator and I just paste that in there like this, it creates this inverse thing because it's trying to be transparent. But on PC, it doesn't figure it out. On Mac, you just copy and paste it in there. It'll be transparent. You'll be good. But on PC, because, you know, it's kind of like the Tonka desktop, it's not going to work. So the best thing to do is to actually right-click this and say Save Image As. And we'll save it into other companies' logos here. And we'll create a new folder. And we'll say Bethesda. Now, I actually have most of this on my other machine, but there we go. Bethesda gear, and then we'll say save. Now, what that's going to do is save that as a WebP file. And then we'll go to Illustrator here, and just in case this comes up with stuff that I'm working on that I can't show you yet, because there is always stuff I'm working on, everybody, from different sponsors. So I do have to watch out that I don't get in trouble. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I showed you some of their cool stuff I got coming up, but it hasn't been released yet, so I don't want to get in trouble. All right, so here we go. So what I did is I went and I selected it in the folder, and then I can just click it. And now notice that it is actually transparent now, right? Now, there's WebP, which is a newer format, or you guys might know PNG better, right? There's three formats that I typically use for images. If it's going to be transparent, PNG. If it's going to be just a solid background, then that would be a JPEG, because it's going to compress it. It's going to be smaller, but it's still going to retain good quality. And then I would just use a PSD or a Photoshop native file, or it'd be a GIMP file if you're just using GIMP, which is a free program. Now, if I'm going to put this Bethesda Gear International right here, what I want to watch out for is the fact that, see how you've got the gradient and I'm losing some of the text there? And feel the difference, everybody, when I go in and put the white background in there. See how it pops? What if I put a red background in there? Not bad. Problem with black and red is they sometimes what's known as vibrate the two colors. And then yellow, much better. Green, not bad. Blue, little dark, right? So because we got darker blue with the darker text on top. Now, you can actually find the complementary colors of things using Illustrator and other programs. So if I grab this and I move this over here and I say, hey, Illustrator, go in, where's my colors? There we go. Go in and find me the complement color to this color. Boom, that's the complement color to that color. Now look at the difference in the Bethesda gear. See how much better it is? I would actually go with this color. More, kind of like a gold color, like that, right? Or just go straight on white. And then again, grab this and put this over here. Now, I do a lot of this where I put just little colors like this up here at the top. Why do I do that? Why do I put colors? These are called color chips. Color chips are given to you also in press kits. Like, let's go to, let's see, a big one, Apple. Apple press kit. So if you go to Apple's press kit, you go to their newsroom. It's going to give you, usually, let's see if we can get Apple TV press. No press kit there. All right, let's try something else. Let's just look for a press kit. Press kit. Nothing? I'm trying to think of whose press kit I got. Satisfactory. Oh, wait, no, just like something like Twitter. Twitter face press kit. There we go. There we go. All right, now we're going. So what you do is you look for a press kit, and what it does is it has the logos that you're looking for. So you don't have to look for them on Google. You have the actual logos. Now, they also have a bunch of guides on how to use their logos. Like in this case, I can grab all the new X logos. I just still use the Twitter logo because the X thing is stupid. But you know, I might accidentally or might eventually go in and download those and update that. I just think it's pretty stupid. That's a really terrible rebrand, but I just tell it the same way. Now, they also have, you can see there's different careers in there. But you can see that there is a brand toolkit, which is what we're looking at right here. Let's do it again. Facebook press kit. The brand resource center. And there they are. All the logos that you might need, right? Let's say Facebook. There's their logo. So you can go ahead and copy, save their logo out. Their primary colors on white, what it should look like when it's over the top of images. Secondary logo color, reversed Facebook logo. Notice that the F in Facebook is transparent. Now, they're telling you this is how you should use their logo. And then, of course, what the distance is between their logo and other things, what the minimum size of it is. The minimum logo size for digital applications is 16 pixels wide. In print, the minimum size is 6 millimeters wide, right? So it's basically giving you an overview of their brand guide. I can't believe Apple doesn't have a brand guide. Brand guidelines. Yes, Apple Identity Guidelines. There we go. Look, they got a PDF, everybody. Let's get it here. Let's check it out. Apple Sales Web. This is probably pretty old. There we go. This is what you want to see. Avoid signature mistakes. And you're like, Kismet, I can't believe this is a whole thing that they do. Yeah, every brand has someone like me that makes one of these things that says, look, we don't want our logo to be in, twisty orange, blue, red colors that don't have anything to do with our business, right? So you have to basically have your artist know all this information, and you should download the brand guide of where you're putting stuff. This is for resellers here. Another thing here, look, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do that. So they're just telling you what you can and can't do with their logo. Now, I find a lot of people don't follow the brand guides. Let's do Twitch brand guide. And you know who broke this the most? Dr. Disrespect. Because he called it Twitch Doc something like that. He actually went and oh, that's just going to download the brand asset. But it does say what you can and can't do with the logo. And so it just downloaded it. I can't believe it's still not in there. Let's see. Branding style, guys. Twitch PDF document. There we go. So again, this is something else that is talking about using the logo, what it is, and so on. Branded content guidelines. I think that sounds more like it. Yes. Okay. When you can use their logo, what size you can use it, disclosing the different stuff and whatnot, prohibited things like gambling and things of that nature. If you're a streamer, you're going to want to know all of this stuff, everybody. You're going to want to know what you can do with logos and what you can't. And I always ask for two things. I ask for brand assets and brand guidelines in everything that I do here in the stream. So if I'm getting the fallout for a logo up there, or the St. Jude's, another great example, St. Jude press kit. Right here. Let's see, newsroom. Let's go. Boom. Now this has more news articles. So if you're doing news article stuff, public service announcements and whatnot. So you can get their stuff, media resources right there. There we go. And you can go through and get different materials, right? You can get the St. Jude Facts. You can get materials on it, as well as you can contact their media relations. You can also just go onto their website usually and logo. Let's see if it says logo. Templates for St. Jude, templates and logos. St. Jude Graduate School. Right here, St. Jude logo bumper magnet. There we go. So you can get one of those as well. But you can see that it has basically guidelines on it. Let's try another one. Let's see. What's another big company? I'm trying to think of something. I think Satisfactory has one too. Satisfactory press kit. So even games, you can go in, and some sites have different press kits, and you can see that they have screenshots, they have artwork that you can use. If you notice that my schedule, if you go look at my schedule, I have a bunch of artwork in there. Also, they might have an actual media site like Bethesda does. If I go to Bethesda's media site, I can actually get photos and logos and things of that nature and add them to my schedule. Or in the case of Bethesda gear, I would ask them if it's okay if I use some photos. Always best to ask first, and before you go and use logos. Another great example would be Amazon. Let's go ahead and look for Amazon press kit. Right, so images and videos, Amazon press releases, logos about Amazon, and logos here. See, they got all their logos right there. How many of you have ever heard of a press kit? Put a 1 in the chat. Hey, what's up, jockers? Yes, I'm showing you all the graphic design secrets today. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of a press kit before. Let's see how many smart peeps we got. Oh, okay. Okay, we got some smart peeps. All right. Now put a 2 in the chat if you knew that you could go to a company's website and find a whole list of logos like this for like Amazon and all of those. Let's see. How many people knew that? That you could go in and find logos and save those logos out. Now, see, these are the logos from the actual main graphic designer who's probably getting paid an absolute massive sum, like I used to back in the day, to make all of these logos, and of course keep it very understandable that this is the Amazon brand, or this is the Apple brand, or so on. And so again, you can find multiple things on it. Now I can also go to actual Satisfactory's website itself, and you can see right here, press kit. So I can download the press kit. It's going to give me a bunch of different graphics. It's going to give me the logo. Now, the #1 logo that you're looking for, everybody, is a vector-based logo. And why is a vector-based logo? Now, I can go to, say, Seek Logo. Seek Logo over here. and I can look for logos over here, right? So say we're looking for a certain logo, like, what about, I see LG up there. Let's say LG. Okay, so now it's got a bunch of LG logos. Now, how do I know if it's a vector logo or if it's a pixel logo? Remember, Photoshop, images, pixel. We talked about that last time. You want to see that, by the way, it's on my YouTube channel. You're welcome to go back and watch the previous one. Or it's a vector logo. Now, I'm going to download both, just so you know. Now, right here, you can see it says AI. That's not the AI like they're doing now, everybody. AI stands for Adobe Illustrator in this case, right? So basically, it's an Adobe Illustrator logo. Now, the thing is, we can see it says PNG vector, which actually is not true. A PNG would be an image file. So what it is actually a vector file. You might also see EPS, encapsulated PostScript is what that stands for. CDR, which I actually forget what the name of that is. But basically, we're looking for the vector logo. Now, me, I would go with the Illustrator one because I have Illustrator. But if you don't have Illustrator, you want to go with the EPS one. So we're going to go ahead and go down to that for a second. We're going to, just in case it does any advertising, I'm going to skip that. And I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. And then go right here to where it says the LG logo. We're going to go to download vector. So bam, that's it. That's it. It's free, right? Because they don't own the rights to LG, and neither do you. So, of course, if you're going to be using their logo for stuff, it should be for their advertising. You should not say that you made it. Never, no. Do not do that, everybody. You're going to get in a lot of trouble doing that. Do not do that. All right. And again, just in case it shows some of the stuff I got coming up, I'm going to go ahead and hide it for just a second. I'm basically just going to go to my downloads. And try to open this up. Oh, I got to unzip it. Hold on one second. Extract all. I'm just extracting the logo. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just double click it, open it up into Illustrator like this. All right. So now I've opened up this logo and you're like, well, Kismet, it looks like an image to me. Well, if it was an image, and I'm going to actually take this logo, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to put it into Photoshop, create a new file, it's going to automatically figure out the size, I'm going to paste it in here as pixels, and then I'm going to show you the difference. All right, you see something different about this and this. What do you see that's different, chat? This, better one or better two? Better one or better two? What do you see that's different? Let's see if anybody in the chat can get it. And, oh, thanks for participating, by the way. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of kiss caps for participating in the chat. So which one do you think is better? Do you think the one in Photoshop is better? Or do you think the one in Illustrator is better? What if I take it from Photoshop and put it into Illustrator now, right? So I'm going to go ahead and copy this one that's in Photoshop now. And I'm going to Control-C and Control-V to try to paste it in here if it lets me. Oh, that's right. You can't do that in Photoshop. You can't do it on PC. On Mac, you can totally just copy and paste that, everybody. On PC, you have to save it out and then paste it in there because sometimes it's super feisty. There we go. All right. No, I actually managed to get it to do it. So there we go. So this one is the pixel-based one, and you can see that the edges of it are showing these little pixels, but over here, they're not showing it. This is the difference between vector and pixel-based graphics. So I converted it into a pixel-grade graphic or basically like a Photoshop graphic, and then this one over here is an illustration, and actually if we go Command Y, it's going to show us the actual shapes. Notice that this one doesn't have any shapes. This one's just a big old picture square, and then this one actually has shapes that's filled in. Now we have this outer box as well, which I'm just going to go ahead and delete, because this is the vector-based thing. What it is basically points and lines. So someone went in and drew this out, right? They actually drew that out. If I wanted to, I could actually go in and change the color of this as well, if I wanted to, right? Because it's a vector-based object. Just like if I went in and I made a circle, see, I can go in and I can change the color. I can change the shape of the object. I could grab just the top of it here. Grab just the top of it and make it look like an egg if I wanted to. Maybe put a little border around the outside, and now we got ourselves an egg just like that. Right? So very cool thing to do with vector. Now, the great thing about Illustrator or using an illustration program and keeping it vector, the second you take it into Photoshop, boom, unless you use certain functions, if you tell it to be pixels, boom, it's now set to that resolution, it's set to that size, and it will always be set to that size. If you make it bigger, you're going to see this. You're going to see this big old pixelization, and it's going to look worse, right? It's going to look bad. But if you keep it as a vector file like this, you can make this any size. You can make the size of a building if you wanted to. You can put this logo on the size of a building. And that's why you want to find the vector versions of logos, right? It's very, very useful to do that. Like you'll see me do that quite often in all of the stuff that I do. Like I do have the Bethesda Gear logo in the vector format, so I can make it any size that I want. As well as other logos. Now, some logos are made in Photoshop. Like, great example, that Fallout for Hope logo up there. That one is already pixel-based. So what you want to do before you go ahead and convert it into pixels, you want to make it really big or build it at a very big size, right? So when you're shrinking stuff down, it's going to get higher quality, like this right here, right? This is a photo, right? Because they're going to put it on a t-shirt. So what they did is they made it really big and they shrink it down, and then it looks great on a t-shirt, or if they make it even smaller, it'll look better and better and better. The smaller it gets usually, until it gets too small, and then it'll have a problem. But this is really high quality because they made it at a large size, right? And they made it like in Photoshop or whatnot. Now you can also do this in Illustrator. And I have actually this logo, this part right here, it's St. Jude's logo, as a vector file that I can use as well. So again, finding the vector file, and you can make it any size, and you can see I can make it, 4 times the size, but see the edges are nice and clean, right? The edges are clean. I can keep zooming in, by the way, everybody. I can zoom in an infinite amount, and those edges are going to be super sharp. Always. Always, always, right? Now, it also affects your resolution based on the size in which you output the thing as well, right? So if you go to output this to a printer, say your printer's got 300 or 600 DPI, that's the quality it's going to be, right? And then it's set. But the second you image it on that paper, it's now set to that resolution. Now, just so you know, if you are a graphic designer like me, and say you're printing out a book or a magazine or something like that that's really high quality that someone's going to look at, like a magazine you see in the store, the quality of this text right here, 2,540. Not kidding. 2,540, everybody, as opposed to your 300, 600 DPI printer. I actually used to have a printer that printed at 1,200 DPI for proofs. But yes, when you print that out as a pre-press person or a printer person or a graphic designer, it's going to be much higher quality. Now you're like, well, Kismet, does it print that high quality on a t-shirt? Absolutely not. Depending on the actual medium on which you're printing, the quality level changes, right? T-shirt, much lower, much lower. It's like 150 DPI, typically on t-shirts. But of course, you make it really big size and you're shrinking it down, it's going to make it higher quality to a certain degree, right? Not every single time, depending on if you made it small and then you blew it up and then tried to shrink it down. That doesn't work, everybody. You have to build it at the larger size. Build it at the maximum size. Now, if I was going to build it like this, if I was going to put it on this t-shirt at this size, and I could, we can measure this out, say 12 inches by 12 inches, I would actually make it 3 times this size. I would make it at the 3 times that size, and then I always have the ability to shrink it down or do whatever I need to do, but the original artwork is very high quality, right? Because if you make it really small, that's not good, because if you 1/3 that, then it's going to be like this big, and then it will look good, but but again, make it at this largest size, or make it even 3 times the size to get started. That's what I would do with everything that I would do. If I was going to do this LG logo, let's try the difference, everybody. We're going to go ahead and do the LG logo here again. Actually, we're going to undo all that stuff that we did. Command Z for the win. Back that all the way up. There we go. So we're going to grab just the LG logo here. Big love to LG, by the way. I love their washers and dryers. They are exceptionally good. I actually think I have some other LG stuff too. Giving them some random love here, everybody. Now, if I was going to bring this in, and see, it says it's going to be this size. But here's what I'm doing. Before I paste it in there, I'm going to go into the image size, and I'm going to go ahead and say percent, and I'm going to say 300%. So I'm going to make it 3 times the size before I bring it into Photoshop. And it's going to make it way bigger, like that. And then when I paste it in there, like this, I'm going to actually scale it up because remember, it's still high quality right now until I hit return, and now it became pixels. But watch the difference. I'm going to go ahead and select all of this, copy, 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 see if I can actually get it to do it. There we go. Now notice how much bigger it is, right? It's 3 times the size. And so let's zoom in. Can we see those pixels? Yeah, we can see those pixels if we zoom in. But what happens if I make it 1/3 that size? Well, what it does is what's known as the DPI, or the dots per inch, go up, right? So if I take this thing and I make it back down to the size of this other logo, like this, and this is a great trick, everybody. This is a really good trick. If I make it down to this size of this logo, it's actually pretty decent now, right? You don't see all of those little pixels that you saw before. Again, let me go through and go to Photoshop here. Let me grab this other one, right? Let's grab this one, and let's put this one in here as well. Look at the difference. All right, we'll put that in the back. There we go. Look at the difference, right? This one I made it 3 times the size and then shrunk it down. This one I made at 100% and just pasted it in there at 100%. See the difference? These are both pixel things. If we go and look at it, we can see this one's the vector one on the left, and these are just pixel based. So again, understanding resolution is incredibly important. It is actually the most important thing in anything that you produce as a graphic designer. Now, if this is just going on the screen, no big deal. 72 DPI probably be fine, but I still make it at the larger size because maybe later on I want to make a LG t-shirt, I want to make something out of it or whatnot. And you can see the difference. I'm showing you all my secrets, everybody. You guys liking this? You guys liking this in the chat? Showing you all my secrets that I learned over 30 years. Now, what quite happens often is that I will be sent some artwork and it'll be too low quality. So I have multiple options. I can recontact the client and say, look, your artwork is too small. It's going to end up looking pixelated like this. Most of the time, they don't understand what pixelated means. Pixelated means this. It means this right here. These little dots on the side. These are pixels. That's pixelated. All right? So if you ever see something like that, now you know what the term for it is. So I'll say, hey, do you have another higher quality logo? And most of the time they do. Most of them say, oh, yeah, we got this real high quality logo. Here you go. One that's much bigger, or it's a vector logo or whatnot. Now, if they don't have the logo, I have literally done thousands upon thousands of of logos that I've redone, that I've gone in and redrawn. Now, how can we, if we didn't have the vector logo over here, how could we go in and fix this, right? Well, what we would do is we would go in and we would use our illustration skills right over here. I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of that. And we would just go ahead and make a circle, right? Now you're like, well, I can't see the thing behind it. It's hard for me to, no, actually I did it kind of perfect right off the bat just from being, doing it for so many years. But if it was the wrong size, then I'll do it on purpose. There we go. So if it's the wrong size, kind of hard to see behind there. But what you can see is now it's centered, right? So you're kind of visually looking to see it centered. And then what you can do is just switch it over here on the left side to where now you can just see the outline. Now I'd actually change the outline color to black. There we go. And then if I hold down the Alt key or the Option key on Mac and Shift key, what it's going to do is go from the center. And so I can go ahead and get that going. Very nice. Now see this thing going around here? We know this is also a circle. So what we can do is just hold down the Alt key. Get out of there. Hold down the Alt key, make another circle, Option, Shift again, shrink it down a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to basically rebuild this logo. Something like that. That's pretty good. But you can see they actually very perfectly took out this last arc part here, right? So we can actually go in and modify the circle just by clicking on the actual arc itself, not the points, but the actual arc. And we'll zoom in a little closer so you guys can see that happen. I'm just going to click on the line itself. Now we got the line. I'm going to hit delete. And now that whole entire edge is gone, right? And now what I can do is just go in and add the G. So I can go into my pen tool. I can click right here, hold down the Shift key so it goes nice and straight. And then, boom, there we go. We just went in and we just did the G. Now, of course, we can also make the line thicker by going to our stroke over here and make that, oh, come on, there we go. We can make that a little bit thicker. And let's say, looks like about 3 point to me, so we're going to go with that. And now we've already rebuilt it. Now it's vector, right? We look, there we go. So we drew that line in. And this is what these people do when they go and they rebuild all the logos, everybody. They go in and they put it on that Seek logo. So if you're looking for a company's logo, now, of course, it'd be better to get it from LG's site, right? So if we go to LG, go over here and say, come on, LG Press Kit, right here. There we go. Press releases, newsroom, press release, and media. I'd probably go with that one for LG. Oh, and there we go. We've got the logo right there. Oh, that's a nice shaded logo too. But not really what we're looking for. Let's go back. Let's say press releases. Let's say uses cookies. Let's see LG logo. Let's see if we can just search and see if it gives us right on the site. All right, block all this stuff. Okay. Yes, it's just showing us LG products. That should actually bring up their logo. LG, or I can just look for press kit. Again, no, this is the first time I'm trying it on their site. 4 results for press kit. All right, that's not doing what we wanted to do. Let's back up. See, this is the newsroom, Visit Global Newsroom. Oh, home entertainment. They got a lot of stuff. Wow, look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. Let's see. Where can we find... Oh, they call it Media Kit. Press Kit also called Media Kit. Let's try LG Media Kit. Let's see. LG Wireless Media Kit. Oh, they don't have it. They got a newsroom. Yeah, see, the first thing that should come up is their Media Kit or Press Kit. Let's go over here and see this. This is like a wireless media kit, which is actually an actual product and not the actual logo. Now, also what you can do is you go to LG's, say, main site. You can scroll all the way to the bottom. All right, stop popping up stuff. Scroll all the way to the bottom and actually look for it down here, right? You can look for it down in all these little options down here. Parts and accessories, My LG. Let's see if they have any press releases. Yes, press releases, media contacts. So we can figure out the media contacts. You can also contact them and say, look, I'm doing an article or I'm doing a video on your whatever it is, right? Your washers, dryers, or whatever. And you can go in and request logos from them as well. I'm amazed that it doesn't just come up with logos straight away. Right there, which it totally should. And it should have their media stuff right there. But again, you can go down here and you can try to find the stuff down here as well at the bottom of the person's or bottom of the business's website as well. It totally should have a media kit down there. I don't know why. That's a failure of whoever's doing their website. But normally you have media contacts, you have media kits, press kits, that kind of stuff. Right down there. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Public notices, cycling program, and whatnot. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it there. Normally it'd be under press releases. You got LG signature stuff here. You got some logos up here at the top. So these logos are somewhere. So if you need the LG signature logo, that logo is somewhere. Now, of course, we can always just look for it. LG signature logo. And then go to images, and bam! Logo just like that. And again, remember that you do have permission to use those logos as well. What about over here? What if we just look for LG signature logo? Boom. Popping up with a bunch of other stuff. LG signature logo. No, it doesn't have it over here. Again, what if we just look for LG? Maybe just not logo. Maybe just LG. There we go. And then you might be able to find it in there. So you got LG Electronics, LG Mobile there. I don't see any other one, but you can also just... Oh, there it is, right there. We found it. LG Electronics, right there. And it's also an EPS, so it's a vector logo. We could download it. We could use it in whatever we want to do. Now, also, I see that they have a shaded logo right here. Yes, let's get that one. Bam. And again, let's close all these advertisements. Right here, LG logo. But this one, see, it's got the shaded effect. So we're going to download that one and bring that up into Illustrator. And then another great thing about looking at logos and things like that is you're learning how they actually make that shading and how they do all of that kind of cool stuff. Let me get in here and get this to go. LG shaded. Okay. Where did it go? Good question. There we go. All right. All right. A lot of things. All right. So now we got this shaded logo. We can see that it's a vector logo. And we're going to take it over here with our other logo that we're just fooling around with. And we can kind of go in and learn a bit about how you do a logo. Right? So you can see that what they've done is basically a visual trick. Right? So we've got this one right here, and it's got a gradient, which you can see over there. So it goes from a start color and then ends up into this edge so that it blends in. Now I can actually go in and take the different parts apart here in it. So we can go in and ungroup it. Ungroup. Man, I forget how to ungroup on the PC. There we go. Okay, so you can see that's what that is, right? So this made an oval, and they put a gradient in there. This part over here, same thing. Now, this gradient is actually what's known as radial gradient. This one over here is a linear gradient, meaning it's gradiating from up here down across this way. This one's radiating from the center. Now, you're like, how did they do this cool metallic effect, right? Well, what it is basically just a bevel. If you take this apart, you can see that it's got like a little black thing there. It's got a little gray there with a little white swish. See, that's what you want to do, everybody, when you're learning how to do things, is look at how other people did it, right? You got your circle. You got this here. It's like free advertisement for LG right now. You're welcome, LG. Non-sponsored, by the way. From LG. But there you go. You get the general idea of how each and every one of those little sections are done like that. And you can actually use a filter here in Illustrator to do that effect. It's called bevel or 3D effect. And I can just Control Z and it will put all of that stuff back where it is. And I actually like the shaded logo. Now, if you're going to turn this into a black and white logo, which you can do, you can go in here into edit colors, and you can say convert into grayscale. There we go. Now we got a grayscale version. The only problem with using shading is that when it gets really small, it actually starts to make it more difficult. And then when you're printing it, especially when you're printing it on a t-shirt or something like that, or on paper, when it gets too small, it just makes it hard to actually see the logo, which is why you see most logos have solid colors. Right? They'll have some sort of solid color because if you're making a tiny little logo onto something, especially on your product, you want it to be solid so that it'd be easier to see and to read, right? Let's get back to our little thing that we're doing here. Now you can see that this is an L here. So again, identifying shapes. And we're going to go straight down to here. We're going to go right down the center of this, then right down the center of this one. There we go. And then we're going to change this to over here. Put that as black. We're going to change it a little bit bigger. Easy. Same thing here. So all you're doing is identifying the shapes of each and everything like that. And now what we can do is go in, put this as white. Put this as white. Oops, not the internal part. This part. White. Come on. Oh, man. So feisty on PC. Feisty. Okay, there we go. So what we did is we went in and basically recreated it, right? And then we also have this circle on the outside, which we're just going to pick up this color by using our eyedropper. And we basically just remade that logo just like that. If you want to try to learn to be better at graphic design, practice doing other things that already exist, like trying to rebuild the LG logo. Now, of course, it's not going to be exact. I would actually not use this logo that I just made. I would use their logo from their press kit. So just in case there's some sort of variance over the original versus what I did, I would definitely not use the same one. You can see actually there's a variance in thickness between the two, especially the L in the center. See the thickness of this L versus the thickness of this L. Now, of course, I can adjust it by going over here and making that a little bit bigger, right? Might be a variance in the size, variance of size in here. Make that a little bit bigger. You get the general idea. This outside line is pretty good. But you can see there's a variance there. And so you want to make sure to use their logos from their actual press kit and their actual size. And again, seeklogo.com is a really great one. That one's been around forever, for like 30 years or for a very long time. A lot of graphic designers do, if they can't find a vector logo, they find it over there, and then they see how close it is to the original logo and whatnot. And again, I love shaded logos. I think they look amazing like this. If this was going to be on something larger, if we're going to put that into an advertisement, first I get rid of the outside line like that. There we go. And just get the interior part, and we're going to put that into our advertisement here, say right here. I'd actually do something more like this, and then you could adjust your logo. You could put a return in there so that this is kind of double capped like this. Move this down. And then, of course, this has a problem with too much space in between there, and something we talked about earlier. Over here, you're letting. And you can go ahead and bring that closer together. And then you'd have yourself a headline and some text down below. Now, this LG logo is way too big, so you want to shrink that down a little bit. Now, notice the space around the edges of the logo. Again, you don't want this to be too close. See, that's crowding the text. And you want this to be a little bit further back, right? And say we're going to do an LG product here. Right, so we'll go show them some more love. LG washer dryer combo, right? They got a really cool washer dryer combo. Or wait, it's I think it was GE washer dryer combo. I was talking about this the other day on stream. So let's go in. Let's go to Lowe's. Giving Lowe's a shout out too. So we're gonna go to Lowe's. And it didn't give me what I wanted. See, I actually clicked on a very specific thing, and it didn't give me the exact what I wanted. So now I got to back out of there. One and done GE washer. I think that's what it is. Block, stupid. I don't want that popping up. Stop it with all of this stuff. No. Stop it with the pop-ups. There it is. Okay, so here's a product picture, right? I can right-click it. I can copy that. I can paste that into here. And then I could utilize that photo. I can also save it out. So say maybe we want to do this. Actually, we'll take the LG logo out now. Now we need a GE logo, right? So if we need a GE logo, GE press kit. Boom. Press releases, product media kit. Let's go check it out. Boom, brand kits. See, now we got a bunch of different brands in there. GE appliances, so view that kit. There we go. GE appliances, press releases, documents, GE brand. Now this has to do with their actual brand itself. And it will tell you, what the different things are all about. But what we want is we want the logo, right? We want this GE appliances logo. So, what it should have right here is have the logos. That's a kind of a fail on their part again. As well as a graphic designer, they should absolutely have the logo there. And you can see there's a corporate press kit as well. Yeah, for their corporate offices. But what should be right there is the logo. So you could use that logo for different things. You can also find company facts. Say you're writing an article about the different GE appliances. Maybe you're trying to find a fact sheet on the actual washer itself. But again, we can go to back to Seek logo over here and just search for GE appliances. Or we just search for GE. Let's just search for that. There we go. And then we can just kind of scroll through here looking for GE appliances. Page 2. Close that stuff. Hate all the pop-ups. Nope, not in there. Okay, so we can't find it there. So we'll just go to Google, GE logo. And then you might want to type in transparent. Notice that it auto-fills it in. So now we can go GE logo transparent, so we have that background. There we go, General Electric right there. Now notice it's got the boxes, so we save as. And it should say something like PNG image, which it does. I'm just going to put it in my downloads right there. And then we'll go ahead, again, just in case, again, I get in trouble. We'll go to downloads, and we'll just go ahead and place that in. And then now we have the GE logo, GE General Electric, like this. Now, when you get a logo like this, now we got a problem of the logo is what's known as a horizontal logo, goes all the way across. We can also look for vertical logos. Vertical logo would be where it has the logo with the information underneath. Something, oh, like, see, look at this. Or you have like the two words combined. That's pretty good there. As well as, let's see if we got anything that's more vertical. I don't know if GE logo likes it when you put the text at the bottom. Oh, here's a good one. Imagination at Work, where you have the logo. Yeah, there we go. So you got the stuff underneath there, GE Healthcare, and so on. This would be considered a vertical logo because you have the text underneath. But in this case, we're going to go with General Electric. We're going to say, okay, this is all about this particular thing. Now, of course, we wouldn't want this background because it's kind of hard to see the background. Now, another thing that the reason why you would want that media kit, GE Media Kit. All right, nope, not it. There we go. Is because you would want that kind of brand guide where it would say, hey, we want this on a certain background. We don't want it to be on like an orange background, right? So if I go in and I put it on an orange background, that's not their color scheme. They don't want that. Doesn't have anything to do with their business, right? And as a graphic designer, you have to take the influences of all the other graphic designers and the graphic design that they're utilizing for their particular site, right? So if they've got some press kits, brand product press kit here, let's go there. Oh, that's where we already are. You can see that we have different press kits here. Let's say the profile press kit. There we go. Oh, there it is. There's the actual product that we're looking at right now. Actually, that's a much better photo too. Let's copy that photo. And let's put that photo in. Take this one out. Notice that it has the background. And that's okay. We can just use it on white here. And then we'll have a little bit about the thing here in the background. I'm going to go ahead and bring back up my other background here. Get my background this way as well. We're going to Control 2. There we go. To unlock. We're unlocking the background. And then we're going to change that to white. And now you can see that that it doesn't have any effect because the background is now white and you can't see that it's there. Now this image is too low quality, but I would never put this like that. That image is way too low quality. What I would do is I'd click on it and see if there's a bigger thing. Oh wait, there's an image download. So I could click on the image and I could get a much bigger version of it, though that's not that big. I would definitely get a much bigger version than that. That is too small. Again, it's actually showing you the back of it too. Cool, that's cool. But you can also download the photo. There we go. That's much better. Then copy that and watch the difference. We got this one. And then, of course, we're thinking about the quality of the image. You're like, oh, Kismet, that's too big. Oh, no, it's not. Because when you shrink it down like this, that sucker's going to look beautiful. And that's your job. Your job is to make their product look amazing. That's my job. There we go. So now look at the difference between the quality. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll zoom up a little bit more. I can see it right off the bat. Look at the difference in the dials, in how this is going to look. Not just online, but also if you put it in print especially. But definitely look at the difference. Look at this. You can barely see the panel here. Here you can see the panel in all its glory and whatnot. This is a real product, by the way. It's a washer and dryer. Incredibly awesome. A new product by them. So you actually just leave it in there and it washes it and then it dries it. So big shout out to GE for coming out with something pretty cool. So what would I do up here, everybody? What would I do up here at the top? Well, what I might want to do is maybe grab this blue here and notice that it's actually got the blue in the background. So now it's more goes along with the GE brand, right? So it's using their color. Now, brands are very specific about their exact color, everybody. And I'm trying to see if there's a brand kit. Let's see, who would have that? I think it was Facebook. Did we already look at Facebook's press kit? Yes, let's go to Facebook and see if they have specific colors. Maybe Patreon. Patreon press kit. Yes, brand assets and guidelines. There we go. See, look, it's telling you what you can use, what not to use. And then also it'll have a huge thing about the different colors, what colors to use, what colors not to use, what logo to use, and so on. And there's actually like a booklet that you can download. And usually when you download the assets, there'll be a booklet, a style guide that'll tell you about it. Brand style guide. Digital brand style guide. Over here, 6 reasons you need a style guide, so you can easily access essential brand assets, etc., etc. All these darn pop-ups. You tell it to block the pop-ups, but now it just keeps popping up all the time. But you can see the general reason there, right? So what can we find? Brand guide, maybe. Let's see. What about Facebook brand? Facebook. See if they can give us an actual style guide. Brand assets guide. Let's go over here and see if it's got it. Boom. All right, so there's a guide. You can do this or you can do that. What you can or can't do with the logo, right? What it doesn't want you to do, what it does want you to do. It does want you to use the outer rim of the Facebook logo and say representing your social channels. What to do with the thumb icon, what colors are acceptable, what colors are not acceptable. Do not use a solid thumb with a cuff attached. No, don't. It's telling you all the don'ts that you should not be doing. Let me zoom in on that so you guys can see that. Here's all the don'ts, right? Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't put this on a thumb icon in such a way that it changes the design or the color, right? This is what you need to know about as a graphic designer. This find us on Facebook, right? Not this, not that. And there we go. See, do not alter the colors or the scale of the logo, right? See, just like I was talking about earlier, they don't want you to put it in orange. That's not their colors. Their colors is the Facebook blue, right? These are all different reactions and so on and so forth. You get the general idea. You can look all this stuff up yourself. But it talks about using emojis. It talks about the different style guide of that business. So as a graphic designer, these are the things that you want to know, right? You want to know these things. Now, this actually I would take because we now have this stuff here, and I would put it up here. Now, obviously, I'm just doing just the basics, everybody. I'm not doing anything too advanced right now. Let's go back to the GE profile here. And let's grab one of these things right here, right? We're going to grab this, and we're going to put this now, the actual text in the actual thing. Boom, there we go. So greater energy savings with ventless heat pump technology, right? So say we wanted to also put a price in here. I don't know how much this is. I don't think it says over here. We go look it up. I think it was around $2,000. So $2,000. Or maybe it was around 2,500. I think actually no, I think it's around $2,000 on Amazon. Yeah. So there we go. So we can put that in there. Now, do we want to just have it in black? Maybe we want to have it in red, right? And then maybe we want to go ahead and put this up here. And then put the name of the product up here. Let's see. What's the actual name of this? The GE Profile Ultrafast Combo is, I think, the actual name of the product, right? GE Profile Ultrafast Combo. Yep. Again, you make sure you get the actual name. Yes, with this right here, Ventless Technology. And it looks like there's a link as well, so I can link to, see? And there we go. And it gives me a link to all of that stuff. There's some more, another fantastic photo right there. Absolutely fantastic photo. I didn't want to do that. I want to take this and replace this headline like this. Now, here's the thing. This thing is way too big. Let's shrink this down to where we just see the ultra fast combo part, right? The actual name of the product, like this, GE Profile, ultra fast combo. And then down below, it's going to say with heatless pump, but we're going to take that, and watch the difference, everybody, from how big it is now to when you shrink it down. Make our thing a little bit higher there. When you shrink the font size down, and then you create a, and I would center all that. And then, say you have the headline of the name of the product up above, and then you have the heat pump technology. Now, is it better to have this shot, or is it better to have a shot where you can see yourself in the thing, right? The one and done, right? That's a much better product shot. I would definitely pick that one over the other one, and it's very big, so we can get that done. And we can take this and put this in here and say one and done, like that. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it behind this. And now I've got this. Now I've got a problem, right? Now I've got a problem with all of this stuff. So I would actually take the General Electric now, maybe put this at the bottom, move this up just a little bit. It's not quite fitting into our layout. So we'll put General Electric down here at the bottom. And then here at the top, actually we'll put this at the bottom as well. Let's paste that. Now also what I'm doing is adjusting the layers. So I'm taking this out. I'm going to paste it in the back. Now we've got a problem here, right? But this is what we want up here at the top. See how the different in the feel of it? Now maybe we want to talk a little bit about it here. We don't want to cover up the lady's face. Absolutely not. Most of the time they don't put a price in as well. So say we're just doing this for Amazon. But I'm going to show you a really fantastic trick. You ready? And people use this all the time. And what you can do is go in and put a box in. I'm actually going to put it in white. Then I'm going to take that box, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to get rid of it, I'm going to click on the text, and Control B to paste it behind, and now we've got a white box. And you're like, okay, that's not very exciting. Well, let's go ahead and make it a little bit rounded to give it a little bit of style, right? Kind of like it's a little bit of a pop-up. And then what we're going to do is adjust its opacity, right? So we're going to go in and we're going to find our transparency is actually what it's called here in Illustrator. It's going to let me scroll down. There we go. Transparency. Bam. There it is. I'll just attach that right there. And then we're going to bring this down to about 60%. And there we go. So now we can actually see the photo underneath and also see there. Now, what if I take it and I make it into a black box? That's at 60%. See, that's different. Then I can actually take this and I can make this white text. And it gives it a whole different feel, doesn't it? Gives it a whole different feel as well. So again, that's called a transparent box, or kind of a bit of an overlay that kind of darkens the area behind it in this case. And then I have white text. White text is harder to read than the black text, so keep that in mind. So normally I would, in this case, if it was a product and I want to make sure that people can really read it, I would actually probably bump this up to about 80%. And then you can actually see the thing. Now, I'm just showing you some basic design, everybody. And then there's a whole bunch of things about using different shapes and all of those kind of things, like this. Now, we might want to put General Electric down here. Maybe we're trying to tell you to go buy it on Amazon. Amazon press kit, images and videos, logos right there. And so we'll go find Amazon's, say it's going to be a Prime Day thing, right? So we'll go ahead and download or copy that and just paste that in here. Oh, it's a transparent logo. See how it does that? That's a PC thing where it inverts the logo like that. On Mac, you can just copy paste it. On PC, you can't. So I have to save as. I'm going to save it into my downloads. I would actually put those in a folder called Other People's Logos. Typically, that's where I save them. And again, let's go ahead and place that. There we go. And whatnot. Now, of course, you'd go in and you'd take a look at their guide and say, okay, is it okay if I take this and if I make it white or if I change it into a different color or whatnot? Me, what I would do is I would use the GE colors over here and I would just make this white. Prime Day on the background, right? And there we go. So we've made ourselves a bit of a thing. Now this right here is not very attractive in the logo. So we'll take that out. Maybe we could go ahead and figure out a better logo or font here at the top part. This is a very basic, uninteresting font. Maybe we want to go ahead and change this to white. Try to get a better looking typography going on here. Maybe something like this. See, it's a bit more style. See, this is the way it was. Like that. Basic. And then this has a little bit of flair. Now, of course, they're also going to have typography guidelines as well. That'll say, hey, this is our official font. This is our official style that we're using. Maybe you find another brochure or something else, and you can figure out what the fonts are. You can actually open up PDFs into Illustrator as well and click on it. And if it is actually still is its original font, you can actually find the font that way as well if you have another brochure that they have. So speaking of, let's see if they actually have a brochure over here in this GE thing. Learn more. Let's see if they have a PDF of it. Guy talking about it there. French and no PDF, huh? Profile products. So they should have a PDF on it. It's probably here somewhere. I'm just not seeing it. Let's see. Learn more about it. Buy now. Watch the video. View installation specs. Really? Well, I don't think they do it as much anymore. But in my day, they would always have a one sheet on it. That was a PDF that you could download. They don't. Yeah, they absolutely don't. That's something that's changed over the years because you can just look at it online. This is another good thing here. Look at this overlay that's going on here. Now, if you wanted to just grab this, you could just take a screenshot of it by using your snapping tool, which is built into Windows. I can just grab that like that. Then what it's going to do is just grab the thing here. I can copy that. Go back to Illustrator. Paste that. And then work that into my design, right? Say I wanted to not even have the text. Take the text out and just have this kind of down there in the corner. Right, so now you got the 2-in-1 washer and dryer. You got the 2-hour cycle, 2 hours complete cycle, by the way, and then greater energy savings and so on. And so you've got the lady. She's looking at her dryer. Everything's looking good. I love her closet, by the way. Incredibly awesome closet for towels and stuff. And there you go. And so now we've made basically just a product design. I did that randomly, by the way. I picked that randomly so that it wouldn't be like I pre-did it ahead of time. So you could get all the little bits of things that I would look. Now, actually, this right here, I would give it a border, and I would give it some sort of drop shadow or something as well, which you can do. Oops. Which you can do on this kind of stuff. Right here. There we go. And so we can go into the layer. We can go into the object here. We go to effect. We can go to stylize, drop shadow, and then we zoom in. Let's look at the difference, right? Let me look in the corner. That's with a drop shadow. That's without a drop shadow. Let's do it right here so you guys can see it happen in the moment. No drop shadow. Okay, and that's what drop shadows are best for. Right? Really popping it off the page so it looks more three-dimensional. That actual drop shadow is too far. So I would go in and I would modify it. It's the offset is too far, so I would go down to about 3 pixels by 3 pixels. I would reduce the blur to about 3, maybe 2. And then the difference is, see, it's just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not going all the way off the side. It's not this really wide drop shadow. Just enough to make it lift up off the page. Even more so when you have a high contrast color, like the gray down here, right? If you have it up here, it's a little harder to see, but if you have it like dropping down into that zone. Now, what we're doing there by dropping that down is we're creating a conflict between the two things, right? So they're overlapping each other, and it's invading that space, which can cause your design to get kind of offset, right? Kind of heavy on one side or another. Doing that right is an art in itself, breaking the barrier of another shape. But there you go. There we go. We made a free advertisement for the GE General Profile Ultra Fast Combo. And what do we talk about today? Mocking up first, and then going and getting the objects, how to get logos, how to modify logos, what the difference between vector and pixel. Didn't know you learned all that, did you? Layout, proximities. We learned about changing your font sizes. We learned about leading and tracking. We learned about a bunch of that stuff. Now, one of the things that I see people do all the time is they do this, and then they do this. See how smashed that text is, everybody? You should have a limit of, maximum limit of 75% whenever you do that. You can actually see it right over here on the right side in that upper right-hand corner. This is called horizontal scale. Do not do that. Stay away from that. It makes it hard to read stuff. So I would say maximum like 75%. And you can see how that feels, but don't do it too much. If you notice, like all the stuff over here, you can see I've got, you know, trying to keep it from being too squished, right? Just because you can make it bigger and you squish it doesn't make it more legible. It's actually better if you don't squish it and it's smaller and it's a lot more legible. If you notice that I'm also doing a lot of contrast here, right? We've got the white with the black with the yellow. Again, fanatical and the different combos and the different combos here. And I try to keep things real simple because this way they're visually easy to see. So now I can take this if I was sponsored by GE and save this out and then put that down as one of my panels if I wanted to, or whatever it is I wanted to do. Now, of course, I've done this in Illustrator, so I could take it, save it out, or export it, which is what I would do. I'd go to File, Export, Export As. It would then say, okay, I want to save this stuff out. I'd say use artboards because I'd want it to be just the artboard and not get all the other stuff beyond the artboard. I'd say range 1, and I'd probably turn suffix off, and I would call this the GE wash all-in-one. My caps lock off. All-in-one panel, right? Very important to, you know, do your naming conventions really well as well. And that's what I would do, save that out. And again, if I was making the other panel like I had here, each of these things are in their own individual item. That what I would go through, and I typed out all this text and did all that stuff, combined them all together in the size that I wanted, 320 wide by however tall, and then saved them out. And then they end up down below the stream here, down here. So that's how I make panels and how I do overlays and all of that stuff. You can see I've got a bunch of different logos there that I got from their press kits. And then I'm using it as, hey, look, this is where all my social media is. You can click on that, go to all of those. If it's something that I designed, then I'll put that on there as well. You know, logos and things of that nature, put that on there. Notice that I'm using the Patreon's color and their new logo. I always use the latest logo for them. Typically, eventually, I will start using the X instead of the bird. But for right now, while you're in transition stage, I would use both of them. Just like before I was using Patreon, I was using the older Patreon logo until everybody kind of get the gist of what this new logo is and whatnot. So these are the things that I suggest you look into. Now, again, let's say we go look up an ad Ad for GE washer dryer. And we're going to go look in images for an ad, right? Now, first thing it's going to do is show me all of this. But we want to see something like this. There we go. So we got GE, and you can see that they made the choice of using a blue background, just like I did. I didn't see that before, everybody. I just saw it because I know how designers work. So what they did is they used the blue. They reversed the text to give it kind of a visual breakup in there. And they actually even have the model number in there as well. So over here, let's look at this. So this one, they're using this same color scheme where they've got the blue in this kind of pink purplish color. And then they're using that together. You can see on this one, they've got the 2-in-1 at the top, right? So they've got kind of a rounded, they put a square down first and they round out the edges a lot. We can do that super easy. Ready? Watch this. We just go in, Illustrator, create a square like this. Go up to your rounding up here at the top. Remember, other programs have the same thing. Just go really round like that. And then you could go in and color it whatever you wanted to color it, red or whatever color you want to get into and whatnot. So you got that rounded thing. That's how they made those rounded edges on the side there. And then again, you have specifications that they're using there. And you can see that this has a little pop out saying, look, all the bacteria is doing good. This 50% more here. This one, again, see how you've got the rounded edges here? Looks kind of like a sign. And that's what they're going for. They want to make it feel like it's an official sign to show you that it's 5-year warranty and 10-year limited parts and so on. Again, learning about how they do the thing. Look, they're using blue and they're using kind of a purplish pink color there. And they're using it very square. Again, we're thinking about the shapes, thinking about colors. Look at this great shot, right? Again, using the same color scheme. You've got kind of pink, you've got kind of a blue. Wash and dry in one machine. Very great visually. It tells you, oh, okay, go, this is 2-in-1 thing. Without even reading the text, you're already kind of get a gist of what they're trying to say. Again, this is what graphic designers do. They combine symbols, right? So I'm using a plug here. So it tells me, okay, this plug, when you see a plug, it's, you know it's something to do with power, right? It's like, oh, okay, 120 volts there, right? And then, of course, they have some of the things that are on the display in there, highlighting that. And so on and so forth. Look at this, washer and dryer. That's someone did that themselves, everybody. You know how I can tell? Because the font is not great. That's a terrible font. That's a terrible font for that. But hey, you know, to each their own. Here's some more ads over here, everybody. Again, if you want to be a graphic designer, go in and rebuild this ad from scratch. Right here. I'll get you started right here. We're gonna grab this ad, though that ad isn't that great. We're going to grab this ad, we're going to put it on the thing, and then we're going to get it started. And again, first thing we're going to do, mock it up. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to give you a general idea. All right. First thing you do is you mock it up. So first you're going to do your text at the top. I'm just going to click. It's going to make a text box. Apparently very, very slowly. Very, very small. It should give me some text. There we go. And so we just take the text. We roll it up here. Now we've got text. We got text down here. Roll that down there. We haven't even chose the font yet. Doesn't matter. Over here, we're going to have a photo. Right here, we're going to have a photo. Again, this is mocking up. Actually, this photo is going to go over the top of this as well. Then we're going to have a background. I could have done the background first. And I'm going to turn it a different color so you can see that it is over the top. Colors make no difference at this point when you're mocking up. I'm going to put that behind that. There we go. Then I'm also going to lock this, and I can actually hide this as well by putting it on another layer. Over here, BKG for background. And then I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to move it to the bottom layer, and then I'm going to hide it. It's still there. And the same thing with our template here, right? So we're going to go ahead and just call this temp for template. Put that at the bottom. Take our template. Put that down. Layers, incredibly useful. Now I've locked it so I can't see it. If I want to see the background, I can. Maybe you want to go in and work with this text. So we've got a headline here. This right here is the top part. So we're going to just call this images. So let me do it right there. Images. This will be our text. So images, top, or you can select them both. And again, I'm moving that little square, allows me to roll that up, and then I can just hide those. right? Now, I actually would not design this in this program. I would not design it in Illustrator. I would design it in InDesign. Or a program like Quark Express or other kind of page layout programs, because then you could do the individual pages. This is also called facing pages, or a crossover between two separate pages, because as you can see, if you look at the actual advertisement, you can see it's in a book, right? And you can see the actual staple right there, the staples that are holding the book together. And so this is a book that's the center of that particular book, right? And these are called facing pages. So you would make this side first, and then you would make the other side, or you could just build it across there, and then when it goes to print, it actually does not print together on some pages. Like page 1 and page 20 would print together, and then when you staple it all together. Now, this is what's known as a center spread. So say this is page 4 and page 5, then those would actually print together. They would print on the same page. Exactly, but page 1 and page 20 would be together, and page 2 and page 19 would be together. It's always even, odd, odd, even, odd, odd, even when you're doing that. I'm not going to do any InDesign today, but basically that's what I would do this in. I would do it in that. And again, just mocking this up a little bit, getting a general idea. Now, we already know what the layout is. We already know what it's going to look like. So that gives us a huge advantage. When you're designing stuff from scratch, that's different. Right, and they've got a little pop out over here. We can go ahead and put our box in. We can rotate that out so we have the square. We can also see that this is not, because it's been shot with a photo, it's going to be out of perspective. And we can see that the square on the outside is there. Again, product, put the product here. Now, if I was in InDesign, I would put a picture box here. And then I would put a text box here. And then I put text box, picture box, picture box. And that's what I would do to all of this if I was recreating it. And again, then when I'm ready and I have all the images and stuff that I want to put in there, then I would just go to that picture box and say, get picture, and then put the picture that I need in there, and then put it however I want. But these are the elements of this. We've got picture, we've got text, we also got lines in between here. So we can go ahead and do our lines, holding down the Shift key, and then holding down the Alt key to make a copy. Over here, same thing. These lines are a little longer, so I'm going to grab this side, but hold down Alt so it's scaling in both directions at the same time. More lines. Over here. You get the general idea, and then this looks like it's a photo all in itself. So this would actually be like this for photo, and then some text over here. Like this. Now, also, I might just put it off to the side first, like this, and then just type all this in. If I didn't have the original copy, it's much better if they send you the copy, because this way you're not going to hopefully make as many typos. See, in the case, upper and lower case makes a difference. 1, 2, 3. This is actually right justified, or right aligned. So I'm going to Control Shift, Control Alt R. No? It's going to bring up my Alt R. Bring that thing up. Come on, Control Shift R. Yes, that was right. I just didn't press it right. Okay, so now we've got the actual text. Holding on the Shift key to shrink it down without messing it up. And so we'll get pretty close. It's definitely not Myriad. It's more like a Helvetica or a Avenir. So I'm going to use Avenir. Again, finding what font it is. You can actually see this is actually squished. You can see this is squished down. Again, watch your percentage. It's only 90%, so that's fine. This also is offset a little bit, so you can use the space bar to try to offset it. But it's actually right aligned, so that's actually not going to do you any good. The best thing to do is to move this over and then add a space up here to do that, right? And there we go. So now all you do is press one button, and it's going to wash all that stuff for you. Wash any fabric without guesswork. And look at that font up there at the top. Let's do that one as well. I'm just going to do the word wash. So many wrong buttons on the PC. Wash. Oh, it's in capital too. Now, if you didn't actually put it in capital, you can put it in capital over here in your thing. You just click this button, and now it's in capital. Now, look at the difference in the thickness of this versus, let me put it off to the side of the artboard here, over here. Look at the thickness difference than this one, right? This one's more of a thicker font. Let's go find something like, do we have a Futura in here? I don't think I have it on this one. Let's go with Impact. That's too thick. Let's say Arial. And then we'll choose different things. This is more of a black font or a bold font. I'd probably go with bold. And we can see it yet again. Look how much this one is squished. Right? It's kind of squished down. Like this. No, that definitely actually is a black font. Much thicker. There we go. And you can see I can try to scale it to the same size as this. Now, there's actually a whole bunch of math that goes along with picking your font sizes and your leading and kerning and all of that stuff. But you can see I've got it pretty close, right? That's pretty close. And then if I wanted to get the color, I could just use my eyedropper and pick up that color. Now, that color is pretty bad because it is it is already a printed representation of it. Now, I would clean up that color simply by going to my color over here in CMYK. I'd take the black out. I'd put 100% cyan in there. And then I'd probably bring that down to something like that. And maybe a little bit more. The yellow out. There we go. A little bit more. Actually, a little bit more yellow. And something in there. Something in there so that it is more solid. And then I would, what I call solid the colors. So instead of it being 81, I would make it 80 and I'd make it 40. And the reason why is when you're using on the dot, 5, 10, 20 on the dot, it is going to be a much more solid color than using 83 of this and 57 of that and 92 of this. I always solidify my colors so that they come out much better when they're being printed. Now, if they're on the screen, I would definitely not use that color. I would definitely use something like this or something like this. And then, of course, kind of tame it down a little bit, right? This is a bit harsh here, so we can just tame it down a little bit. You can see that it now is pretty close, right? Pretty close using the black over here in CMYK. Now, also, if you're going to be on the screen, it's really RGB. I find most people find RGB very difficult to use. Me, I can just go ahead and boost that back up again. You don't want it to be too boosty or too bright, too heavily saturated. So you can actually bring that blue down so it's not so saturated, and it will better match what you already have. And again, when we put that on a white background, you can see this is actually a gray background because, again, it's showing you print color versus the finished color. Back out of there. And let's say we're going to do white, right? It's going to be on a white background. And then we take wash and we put it on there. And then we can see it pops out much better. Even though it is reduced in brightness, I mean, I can do this if I want, but I would definitely tone that down a little bit. So it's not just so vibrant, overly saturated. So that gives you a general idea. That's what I would do is go in and practice that, practice putting that stuff in there. And of course, that's not all that exciting. That's just an ad. But that's how you're going to learn how to make stuff the right size. How you're going to look at the size of fonts, right? Is this a sans serif font or a serif font? What's a sans serif? Because it doesn't have any of those little things. If you notice that the text in here should have serifs to make it easier, especially small text. Like this text down here, you can't see it on here because it's low quality. But that should definitely be a serif font, so it's easier for people to read. And actually, you don't want to have all of this as a sans serif font. You want to have it actually have style to it. You want it to actually look good. Oh, Notorious TDK! Oh, what the heck? How long ago was that? Holy mackerel, Notorious TDK, I'm sorry, it didn't come up and give me an alert. Oh my gosh, I totally haven't been paying attention. I've been in the zone. Oh my God, that was a while ago. He donated $1,000, everybody. Holy mackerel, to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. He just unlocked a massive amount of giveaways as well. Let's show him lots of love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much. Notorious CD says, Kismet, as always, thank you for everything you do for the community and always bring in the positivity. You are doing an incredible job, and please keep up the fantastic work. Much love. Well, thank you, Notorious TDK, for coming in and showing that love. I'm sorry my alerts are not working right now. I don't know why Tiltify's alerts don't work. but I am definitely going to get over there and try to get it working on Stream Elements later on after the stream. Okay, everybody. Again, just find some ads. Try to do it. Try to get it rebuilt. And I would definitely choose something that you like, right? Say you like skateboards. Ad for skateboards. There we go. All right, so you see a bunch of different people. Now, out of all these ads, which ones would I say? Well, if you were in the 70s, I would say this one. If you're in today's, I would say more like this one, right? Because look, it's actually got the people that are the actual killer skateboarders. This is a good one, an underwater one as well. Waterproof bandages is actually what that advertisement's for. And look, it's just getting you with the photo first, and then you look down here and say, oh, okay, waterproof bandages, I get it. And so on. So again, look at how they're using, it didn't get bigger, but they're using an angle. See the shape of this top part? This is a very common thing. And then, of course, the actual photos, a shape, and then they have the boards. Very cool. Now, this one's kind of like a lower end thing. This is definitely old school. Like you're going to put that up on a bulletin board or put that up on the side of old school advertisement there. Again, advertisements change over time. And again, who's this going to appeal to? Is it going to appeal to someone who's 50 years old, or is it going to appeal to someone who's 20 years old or 10 years old? Right? Your style should reflect who you're trying to target. And if you target too many people, everybody, your ad's going to be less effective. You should always think about who your actual target market is when you're making advertisements, both if you're doing it in video or animation or in print or whatever. Who is your target market? Right? Here's another one. Exclusive rides. That's definitely looks like one out. Oh, and that's got Tony Hawk in it. See, that's another good one. See, Tony Hawk jumping over that Jeep or something. And then you can see all the various things there as well. And so on. So again, whatever your favorite thing is, I would go in if you're interested in graphic design to learn those. There's also tons of videos out there or whatnot. If you notice that I'm not going to go through and teach you every single tool, that's irrelevant. All the tools are irrelevant. What you need to do is learn the concepts. The concepts of this is a box and this is a line and this is text, and it seems easy, but there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of nuance to sizes and kerning and leading and all of those things, and using sans serif versus serif fonts and the proximity of those things, right? And the actual shape of objects. Like the shape of this object, see how it's pushing itself out toward the text? See how this object is extruding or encroaching on the text and everything over here? It's giving you that feel, and that makes a difference. It makes a difference to where you're going to put the text and whatnot. If you were to put the text over the top of it, it'd be harder to read, right? Also, this is a very similar thing here, everybody. Everybody always puts the 95 in there, so you think it's cheaper. If you put 230 on there, it would seem more expensive than if you put the 29.95. That's why they do that. That's why they do that, because somebody who wouldn't buy it for 230 would buy it for 229. It's a scientific fact, everybody. Absolutely. So I think that, how long was that? Holy mackerel, I went over by 20 minutes. All right, well, hey, I gave you a bit extra. Gave you a bit extra. So we talked about overlays. We talked about doing mock-ups. We talked about how to mock up your overlay, get a general idea of it. Now, next time, we're actually going to go into the stream elements, and we're actually going to put some stuff in there. I'm going to show you how to add stuff in there. And add in your own overlay and make all the alerts and all that stuff. I got to get my overlay working. Maybe I'll use my overlay as an example. But there we go. So that gives you a general idea of mocking up, gives you a general idea of how to do fonts and all of that stuff. And again, mocking up is very important. It gives you a general idea, general feel of what it's going to get, and then you start to fill in the detail afterward. If you just start filling in the detail at the beginning, you spend a lot of time iterating when you don't need to. You want to get a general idea of what you want first and then go from there. And that's why I actually still do traditional sketches. I'll just go in and do a mock-up size, angle thing, what the shapes I want and everything, because it's way faster if I do 50 of them by hand than if I go into the computer where it has an infinite amount. You get to a certain point where you're just iterating And the fact that you physically have to draw it makes you more aware of trying to make it better than in the computer. In the computer, you can spend an infinite amount of time, everybody. It's actually one of the downsides of the computer is the fact that you have an infinite options, and you can spend 4 hours and get nothing done. And that's not good. Production speed is important. First, you work on understanding the skills, and then you work on being faster. How do you get faster thing? Well, if they send you the copy paste that copy in there, format it, do your headlines, do your sizes, do your boxes, do all your stuff, and boom, you're out of there. You're on to the next one. Just like that. If you got to type out all that copy, well, you should charge for that. If you have to type it all out. If they don't have any photos and you got to go shoot some photos, well, you got to charge for that as well. Right? As much as they're going to send you, should affect the overall price, because if you have to do other things for them, most of the time when I'm doing graphic design, most of that stuff would be sent to me ahead of time, or we would have a archive. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. We would have an archive of that client's stuff, right? We'd have an archive of their logos. We'd have an archive of product shots. If it's a new product, they would send us the new product shots. And then a general outline or a brand guide or press kit of these are the fonts to use, these are the colors to use, and they would actually have their Pantone numbers typically in there as well. If you don't know about Pantones, Pantone colors, and let's see if they still have Pantones in here. They had a whole thing with Pantone colors that they had a falling out with Pantones. I don't think they have them anymore. But you can actually pick up very specific colors in your swatch libraries, like say you wanted to have more earth tone colors. Well, here's a whole bunch of earth tone colors that you can choose from. So I can click this color, and then now I've got an earth tone color. Now also, you can also put these by name, if it's going to let me. Small list. There we go. You can actually see that these are RGB colors because they actually have RGB callouts, right? Red, green, blue, all of those things. A whole bunch of different callouts right there that you can see those are RGB colors. And then also they have some that just are called summer and sky and whatnot for gradients, or RGB yellow and whatnot. Now maybe you're working in CMYK, right? You're working in printing. So then you'd want to go through and you'd want to get your different things. Maybe you're working on mobile. Well, I was trying to get the mobile ones there. Maybe you're trying to work with mobile stuff, right? Boom. Now, what are these colors over here? Mobile colors. If we sort those by a list, you can see they're all in RGB. You can also, I would find mobile colors or web colors. Let's go in and add our web colors in here. Web, there we go. And then we'll do it by list. Our web colors are often, by the way, in this value right here called the HSV value, which means that if you use that number right here, that number is going to be exactly the same as some other graphic designer that's going to use it. And so if you're doing web design, you definitely want to use this number right here. This is your fail-safe. How do you know? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this right here, and this is this orange color, right? And I'm in Illustrator right now. If I just take this color number here and copy it, instead of taking 247, 147, 3, if I just take that number and I go into Photoshop and I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to put that color in right here, the HSV value. Boom. I just got that same exact color. And now I can go ahead. There we go. Zooming out. There we go. And now I've got that same exact color. So a great way to keep your colors consistent across things. Now, back in the day when we did graphic design, you would color correct your monitor. You would make sure that the actual color, and we used to have hoods over our monitors as well. So the exterior lighting, like fluorescent lighting and things like that, would not affect the color that's on the screen because you want to have that color as close to what's going to print. Now, I can tell you, this is not going to print that color. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is not going to be that bright in no way, shape, or form. But it actually pasted as a CMYK color. I'll show you why. Let's create a new one. Let's paste. Let's go over here to mode, and we're going to go to RGB. Now we're going to put the same color in again. So we're going to create a new color, or we're just going to go to color. Where is it? Web slider colors. Huh. Oh, over here. Duh. Okay, and then we're going to, again, put that in. I'm going to say okay. Then I'm just going to fill it in the background. Make it bigger. Where's this over here? Now, even though these two colors look the same on the screen, they are not going to print that way. Absolutely not. This one right here is going to become a CMYK color. Because of the style of printing, it's actually going to be much darker. And I can simulate it for you. It's going to be more like that when it prints. See? On the screen and when it prints. Now, how can you make it simulate the printing? Well, you can actually go in, and there is a thing in here that will actually tell you proof setup. There we go. And you can tell it what kind of proofing you want to do or what kind of colors you want to see on the screen. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and undo that, set that back there. I'm going to go to View up here, and I'm going to say Proof Colors. And now what it's going to do is try to simulate this as a CMYK. Now, it all depends on what color space I'm using, and that's a deep rabbit hole that we could go through for like 5 hours. But all your color stuff is down here in your color settings, right? So you can see that we have a bunch of different things. What's dot gain? Dot gain is the process of when you put ink down, like when you put that dot down on there, what's going to do is the ink's going to spread. And that's called dot gain. So whatever color I put in here, depending on whether it's a web coated or whether it's sheet fed, we get into paper and all of that stuff, it's going to have a certain amount of dot gain. So that means it's going to get darker. That's what dot gain means. It's going to get darker in certain colors. And so as you saw, I simulated pretty much what that dot gain is, right? So if you go look at it, so it's going to get darker like that. So you gotta count for that if you're going to go to print. If you're going to go to a T-shirt, that's got dot gain. Absolutely, because you're silk screening it on there, you're putting inks on there, much less than like if it was on a newspaper or something like that. There's a certain amount of gain on that color. So understanding that and knowing that about colors, right? On the screen, not so much, right? On the screen, it's going to be whatever color it is. But even I could put a color down here, like say I go in and put in like a bright green, like that. On my screen, it may look different than it's on your screen. I might have a really high-end, PC, and I might have a really nice monitor with, all the backlit and those darks and all of that stuff, and it may look like this. But then when you get it on yours, you might have a low-end monitor, so maybe even a CRT from back in the day, and then yours is going to look more like this when you see it. So again, if I make an advertisement and whatnot, and I see someone else is going to not be able to read the text or not read the stuff, that's the kind of stuff you need to think about when you're doing graphic design. And again, what is the end result of that graphic design that you're doing? If this graphic design was going on the press, I would actually take this blue here and I would go into CMYK and I would pull out any black because black's a contaminant color. And then I would take these up by about 5%. So I go 80%, let's say 45, and we'll just put the yellow at 0. So let's look at the difference. I'm going to zoom in. So there's the color now. Undo. Can you see any difference? Kind of hard to see, isn't it? Let's go ahead and do it like this. We're going to grab this, and we're going to move it separate over here. And I'm going to take both of them, I'm going to overlap each other. All right? So this one, I'm going to fix that again. I'm going to go 80, 45, and 0. It might be really hard to see, but there is a difference. See? You can now see the difference big time when they're overlapping each other, right? This one's much lighter, right? And so when it prints, it's going to print much more solid, less of a dot gain that's going to affect it and make it too dark, right? You might even want to back it up even more. Now, there's actually a function. If you hold down the Alt key, it'll allow you to, or sorry, not Alt key, it's Shift key, I think it is. Yeah, Shift key. will allow you to scale this down. Now, you don't want to scale it down too much. If you scale it down too much, it's going to be a whole different color, right? But if you say, oh, well, hey, I'm going to get 20% dot gain on this, and I've got it at 80% now, and I'm going to get 20%, and you move that down to 60, you may or may not get that other color, right? I would not move it down that far. That is way too far. 5, maybe 10 if I think it's going to be like 30% dot gain, but I would never move it down that far. Absolutely not. I would probably put it at 70, and then do a proof to see how it looks, simulate that printing, and then go from there, for sure. And I wouldn't let it run all the way to the end first to test it, everybody. You know, you test it way up front, and then get it down. And then after a while, by the way, you just know that about 5% should do it, even though it says 20% where it's going to gain 20% of the color. That's what the dot gain means, that it could gain up to 20% more. So if this particular gains 20% more, it's going to be this. Let me back this all the way up. If this gains 20% more of its current color, this would be 100%, 50, 60, 70, and then this would be 23. See, that's dot gain. It's going to be this color, not that color. And I can tell you, you now know more than about 90% of other designers out there. Because the designers just learn how to make design, but they don't know printing. And they don't know all of the important things they need to know about color shifting, both in RGB, CMYK, HSV, web colors as well. Mastering all those colors and mastering all that knowledge is the key to making it come out right. And that's what I do. That's my job, everybody. My job is to make that advertisement come out right. So it's legible, so it's readable. Like right now, I go in and I look and I say, you know what, this down here, a little too dark. I don't like it. Let's go in, let's fix these colors. All right, 70, 30, 0. Boom, much nicer. Much nicer. I would absolutely change that. And I just know what color combinations are in CMYK because I've been doing it so long. So 100% cyan and 100% magenta is like a bluish purple, right? If I want red, we go 100% magenta. We take out the cyan. Cyan, by the way, a contaminant color when you're doing photo editing as well. 100% magenta, 100% yellow is the most common red you see in print. Is 100 magenta, 100 yellow. If you want green, well, guess what? You take out the magenta. There's our yellow, and you add 100% cyan, and now you got green. Right? So again, knowing color combinations, knowing all of that. Very important. And you're like, well, Kismet, what if you're going to use this color, but you're going to use it for RGB? Well, what I would do is I would get the color we got close, right, green. Then I would go into RGB. Notice how the color changed, by the way. I would go into RGB. Let's try that again. Cyan, yellow. There we go. And then RGB. There we go. Because it changed the color. You don't want it to do that. You want it to keep it the color. And then I would go look at the values of your green and your blue. In this case, I would actually bring the value of the green up, so like 180. And then here in blue, it's a little too saturated in blue, so maybe 75. And now we got a much crisper green. Well, I'm going to do that again, everybody. I'm going to back up, because some of you go, what the heck did you just do, Kismet? All right, let's back it up. There we go. So we got our green. There we go. So again, I'm going to take the two different ones. And again, this is just from having 30 years of knowledge. I just know that that particular one needs to go to 180 and then needs to go down to, say, 60. It's subtle, but the difference is this green is way more beautiful than that green. And again, it's just the subtlety of knowing that. Again, I'm using very solid colors. 180 green, 60 blue for RGB. Instead of it having like odd numbers. And then, of course, I know to bring up the green and down the blue to get me more of a bright greenish color. That's going to be much better on a background than using kind of a darker. Maybe you need the darker, right? Maybe I need the complement of that color too. So again, I go here, give me the complement of that color, which is a purple right there. So what if we do purple with this text on the top, and then we go ahead and use this text in this green. Look at how well those go together, right? Maybe the reverse, right? Maybe we want this like this, and then we'll take this and we'll take it in this color. See how well those colors work together? They're called complementary colors, right? They go along with each other, right? What about red? So we take red, and we're going to go and use some CMYK red. 0, 100, 100, and 0. And then we're going to say, okay, give me the complementary color of that red. Boom. This right here. And again, let's test it out. Let's put some text on top of it. You want to know if it works, everybody. You put some text on the top of that color, and you're going to know right away. Boom. And that's pretty nice. And I actually know businesses that use those combination of colors. Where do you think those colors came from, everybody? It's because artists like me who know the complementary colors of things use that as their design. And then over here, same thing. And go ahead and get this. And there we go. Complementary colors, everybody. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, if you guys like that, put a 1 in the chat. I'm showing you all my secrets, everybody. Again, we'll be back for one more graphic design stream on top of that. We designed an ad. We showed you how to make panels. We showed you how to size stuff. And how to look up press kits, how to look up media kits, how to get logos, vector logos, graphic design elements that you are going to need. And I think that's pretty good. So again, put 1s in the chat if you guys enjoyed that. And now it is time for the Kismet Love Train. Let's go. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Now, again, this is just a small stream, everybody. A bit of a bonus stream talking about graphic design. We'll be back to playing some more games, of course, tomorrow or later today, depending on your time zone. Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my crew, of course, raising funds for St. Jude Children's Hospital as well. Look at all those logos, everybody. Guess where I got all those logos? From press kits. Again, see, now you can't unsee it once you start seeing it. Look at the color choice I used on black background. Look at the Patreon down there, right? The Patreon color that goes along with the Patreon logo, right? Again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. See how it's red for YouTube? See how it's kind of a bluish for Twitter and so on and so forth? Again, every color has a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and it relates to their brand. So very, very cool, I think. Very, very cool. And again, this is what I've been passionate about my whole life, everybody. Since I was a young kid, I love graphic design. I think graphic design is amazing. Absolutely. There we go. There we go. So, all right. So that's it for me, everybody. Thanks for everybody for the follow. Thanks especially to Blue Cronus for getting us started with that $15 donation. And, of course, the massive donation by Notorious TDK already crossing 1,000. We got a lot of giveaways to do, everybody. We already crossed 1,000, so we're already 1/5 of the way to our goal. We're going to be streaming every day for 24 days in a row. Now, I'm going to be doing, I did this stream. I'm going to do Saturday stream. And then we might even up the streams where I might start earlier. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to try to stay on my normal schedule first. And then try to stream as much as I can every single day for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital as part of Fallout for Hope. All right? And, of course, we'll be playing Fallout. We'll be playing Fallout 76, Fallout 4. We'll be playing Starfield, 7 Days to Die. And, of course, next week I think is... what is next week? I think next week is a Lego stream, our last Lego stream. Yes. So next Friday is going to be actually our Lego stream. So yes, our Lego stream, then we have a 3D stream, and then one more graphic design where we're going to actually go and make an overlay in Stream Elements. I'm going to show you how to go in there, how to add your alerts, how to adjust those alerts, do all that kind of fun stuff to kind of finish off this series of the basics of graphic design. But you can get started on your panels, you can get started on practicing and learning your colors and doing all of that stuff right away. Oh, thanks for all those ones down there, everybody. Thanks for all of that. Appreciate all those ones. Appreciate all the love in the chat as well. Big time, big time. I'm going to scroll down over here. My thing is not scrolling for some reason. There we go. Oh, my thing hasn't been scrolling all this time. There we go. Let me catch up on the chat a little bit before I go here. Sorry about that, everybody. I just realized my chat did not scroll. Let's see. I'm just kind of waiting for it to scroll over there. I thought you guys were being really quiet. 1.3. There you go. Let's see. Is it their LG newsroom images? No, it should be a kit. Some kits include exact color specifications, don't they? Yes, actually, I already answered that question because that's why they call me Kismet. Hello, Kismet. Don't you just love when you go to sleep early and wake 4 hours later? I have even worse than that, Unforgiven. I go to sleep early. I wake up like 15 minutes later, and then I can't go to sleep for like 10 hours. It's really annoying. I have really bad insomnia. It sucks. It really sucks. There you go. Oh my God. Yes. See, that's why I didn't get the alert because my chat wasn't scrolling. Let me know. Thank you so much. Look at all that love for you, TDK, in the chat. They did give you lots of love. All right. I'm going to give you guys lots of love for being awesome here in the chat. Everybody. I appreciate you guys. It says, Crunk's coming in and says, hey, Kismet, hope you're doing well. Just lurking while you're doing traffic enforcement tonight. Well, thank you, Crunks. Appreciate that. No worries, Kismet. My pleasure. Thank you to Taurus TDK on behalf of St. Jude. Thank you so much again for starting us off right on day one, everybody. On day one, we already got a big one as well. Kismet's twin. Yes. Stunt double for Tony Hawk for 30 years. Oh, I wish. I really wanted to get into skating when I was young, everybody, but I never got a skateboard, so never did into it. Yes, they lost the right to Pantone because of their disagreement. Yeah. Well, screw Pantone. Screw them then. It's actually how 7 Days to Die colors work in the code, kids. There's a hex code. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need that hex code. Again, using your hex codes if you're doing anything digital, whether you're doing videos or whether you're doing websites or any of that stuff, using the hex code is the best way to go, especially websites, especially if you're working with other designers as well. You can find the hex code to anything, by the way. You can find it actually in the code of the website. You'll see those hex codes in there. As well as you can you can just take a screenshot, go into Photoshop, use your eyedropper, boom, it'll give you that hex code as well. Very, very useful as well. Or you can actually find the Pantone or find the hex code if you do find the style guide for whatever it is. And I would ask as a designer for the style guide. If you're doing something for Disney or whatever, they send you big style guides. I mean, like a book full of style guides, everybody. Oh, yeah. We had them all over the shop. What would be like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, we're doing something for Motown. Okay, what's your style guide for this particular artist? Okay, and we look all that stuff up. We had it all, now you can have it all digital, but we had books and books for that. We had books for print, for presses and prints, printouts that you're going to do, whether it's a poster or billboard or CD label or whatever. We would look it up. Okay, what's the dot gain? What's the trapping size? What's, is it a sheet fed? Is it a web thing? All of these things we would look up to make sure that that thing came out right. And I've done hundreds of thousands of projects, everybody. Not kidding. Every single one of them. Beautiful. Because that was my job. And that's what I did. Now, could I do it at that level now? Absolutely not. Not with my medical conditions. I couldn't do it as good as I could in my 20s, and I'm glad I did do it in my 20s, everybody. And I just did it all the time. I did graphic design all the time because I absolutely loved it, for sure. Also, thanks to Dr. J for that 37 months of sub love. Sorry, I took a little while to catch up on all of that stuff, but for some reason my chat decided not to scroll over here as well. For sure. Have a great night. Thanks for the tutorials, kids. You're welcome down incognito. You're welcome. Blue Crowd is saying, yes, thank you for the stream and the design tips and process you use. Yes, that's really the process that most designers use, is that process of mocking it up, getting a general idea. Also in 3D, they use the process of mocking it up. It's called gray boxing in 3D. They'll just do the basic samples, especially when you're doing animation. Where you'll have just the basics and you'll get the idea of how the camera's moving or the object's moving. You just get that basic understanding. And we're going to do another 3D stream as well. So this Friday coming up, another Lego stream. Then the Friday after that, another 3D stream. And then the Friday after that, another graphic design stream at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, my schedule, again, is going to be pretty much the same. Let's get that going as well. Right over here. There we go. And again, we're going to be coming back Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, resetting the server. So you guys are welcome to come join us either on the server or hang out in the stream. We got a ton of giveaways to start already because guess what? You can thank TDK for coming in and dropping that big donation. I got massive amount. Don't think I forgot about that giveaway that I still got to do. I haven't forgot. I'm going to do it here in a second. Don't think I forgot. I sometimes forget, but this time I didn't. So we're going to use that Wasteland mod, which is basically like a Fallout mod for 7 Days to Die. We're going to be hanging out with my crew. And again, you guys are all welcome to come join us as well. Still haven't looked up what the new events are over there for Fallout 76, but when I update it on Sunday, I'll put the new events in there. And so again, next week, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing the Mega Run at 10 p.m. Sunday, Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 3 p.m., some 76, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 p.m., some Starfield. And man, we've been having so much fun in Starfield. I got a ship that's 62,000 cargo weight or cargo mass that I can have in there, and this is just a dream, everybody. Absolutely should have done that first. I should have went straight for the big ships right away. Absolutely. And not put my points into outposting. I should have just definitely went straight for that. But then that's how you learn, right? You learn things as you play through, and you think, oh, next time I'm going to do this, right? That's pretty fun. Now, let me go ahead and finish this giveaway and see who the lucky person is. Now, remember, you do have to be present to win these giveaways. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to close the giveaway right now, and let's see who the winner is of a random game. Now, remember, this game could be a $200 worth of game. It could be $100, $50, or it could be just a game, if you know what I mean. But what do you care? It's free. So there we go. And 3, 2, 1... Boom! You're the winner! It's Jay Din. Jay Din, are you in the chat? Now, of course, if you guys want to earn some more Kiss Caps, you'd be a good sport. Let's put some GGs right there in the chat, everybody. Put some GGs in there for Jay Din. Let's see if he's in the chat. Let's see. Let's see if he's in the chat, if he's ready to win some sweet, sweet loot over here. I'm going to try to get those new emotes in there after stream as well. And also try to get the server set up and whatnot. So I haven't got the server set up for 7 days. We'll get all that stuff. I got a long list of things to do, everybody. Long list. Jay Din, are you in the chat? You got 2 minutes. Oh, I forgot to start my timer over here. Where is my little timer? Right there. All right, 2 minutes on the clock. Now, he's got 2 minutes to say something. Now, again, this is why you never leave, everybody. You never leave while I'm doing a giveaway. Also, don't leave till the end of the stream because I shower you with more Kiss Caps for giveaways. But let's see if he's in the chat. Oh, there he is. There he is. All right, good. Thanks. I don't have to re-roll. I hate re-rolling. All right, Jay Din, here's what you want to do. I'm going to say hiya in the chat. You're going to go ahead and click my name. Say, Kismet, I won the random game giveaway. And then what I'm going to do in a day, 2 days, 5 days, whenever I get a chance, don't rush me, I will send you a code and you'll get a free game on Steam. So there you go. Now, also, I got tons of gift cards to give away. Bethesda Gear was super nice to just basically give me a ton of gift cards, both for the U.S. and also for international or the EU. So, again, if you can't use the U.S. card, keep that in mind that it will be U.S. You won't be able to redeem it. If you're in the EU, wait for those ones and go in for those ones as well. Plus, I have a bunch of other bonus giveaway stuff to do as well that's not even on the list. And I'll try to get that list down below of all those milestones as well. And because I'm going to go make a panel, everybody. I'm going to make a panel like you saw me do tonight. I'm going to go make a panel and put all the things down there and then put all the different milestones and all that fun stuff. Get all that stuff done as well. We'll get it all in there and get it done. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shower you guys with a bunch of love for being a good sport on that giveaway right over there. Just go bam, 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 bam. Let's check these retweets over here, how we look at. Oh, so close. You guys are at 9, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Let's go. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 caps. You guys are rolling in the caps. And you know what? How about a few extra? Just to get you going. There you go. Now you got some caps. You're ready for those future giveaways, and we got a ton. Yeah, yeah, there we go. AMZ knows what's up. Right down there. You guys are ready for those giveaways. Remember, I'm going to be streaming every single day. Oh, timer up. I'm going to be streaming every single day till the 24th. Now, just so you know, everybody, again, your caps reset on the 31st. At 11:59 is when I'm going to find out who has the most caps. And then at midnight on January 1st, those caps reset. And then you have a chance of being the caps leader next year. All right? For sure, for sure. So definitely be in the stream all year long next year. And then you never know, by the end of the year, you might automatically win by being the Kids Caps leader. But if you're not the Kids Cap leader, use those Kids Caps up. Because remember, they're your caps. Use them when you need them. Win some giveaways and get some sweet loot here in the stream. All right, so that's it for me, everybody. I'm heading on out of here. You'll see me again Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my crew. Again, thanks, everybody, for all that love. What an incredibly great start to our Fallout for Hope love here on the stream. A fantastic charity, everybody. Remember, again, I'll try to get those alerts fixed and come back and have it all ready for you guys Saturday night. All right? We'll see you all then. I got to get the right button over here. There we go. We'll see you all then, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, everybody.
Hi, this is Norbert. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on